This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by Champion Sports Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, and any and all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Champion Sports Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Champion Sports Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com. This is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcasts.
Playoffs, and we're the Coppell Cowboys, the fifth-ranked team in the state, trying to get to 12-0 and advance to the regionals next week, where they would take on Midland. Midland beating El Dorado 31-7. But first things first, Bart Castle got to take care of these 8-3 Duncanville Panthers. Duncanville, led by head coach Jeff Dykes, they've got a pretty electric offense.
And when it gets to this time of year, Mike, there really are no easy ball games typically. Duncanville had a big win last week, a game they won in overtime, and so they'll come into tonight's ball game wanting to show that it wasn't a fluke that they won the ball game and that they deserve to be here. Coppell has played well all season, and it looks like they're rounding into form at just the right time, so it ought to be a great ball game.
Yeah, the Duncanville Panthers, they had to rally from a 2-touchdown deficit in the fourth quarter last week to beat Irving Nimitz, won at 31-24 in overtime. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they got downright defensive against Plano in a 23-6 win. 7 sacks, forced 4 turnovers. The Coppell defense playing like we've seen them play all year, only giving up 9.5 points a game.
If you're going to beat Coppell, one of the things you're going to have to account for is not only their explosive offense, but you're going to have to figure out some way to get through their defense, and that's a tall order.
Coppell Cowboys coming in with a perfect record of 11-0. Duncanville with a mark of 8-3. And, of course, the Coppell Cowboys led by Cam McDaniel, 28 rushing touchdowns this season, 32 total. He just does it week in and week out.
And he does it in a lot of different ways. You mentioned the big numbers running the football, which is impressive, Mike, because he didn't come into the season surprising anyone. He was an all-district performer as a junior, and so he came in and delivered on the expectations everybody has, but he can also catch the ball out of the backfield, and he scored a couple of touchdowns on punt returns. So if you're going to beat Coppell, not only do you have to get through their defense, but you have to try to figure out some way to stop Cam McDaniel.
And when you talk about the Duncanville offense, you start right with their quarterback, Devin Ely, a 3-year starter for the Panthers. This season, obviously his best. He is completing nearly 59% of his passes. He's thrown for over 2,300 yards, 22 touchdowns, and just 5 interceptions. Devin Ely's the real deal.
And he has a lot of weapons to work with, and so it ought to be a great ball game, because in trying to stop Ely, the Coppell defense may be tested at a level that they haven't been tested since they played Denton Geyer several weeks back in a district ball game.
Outstanding running back Chris Simpson, rushing nearly 1,200 yards, 18 touchdowns, and Jalen Parker is Duncanville's top receiver. He's a 1,000-yard receiver as well, so it will be a test for the Coppell defense in this ball game today. Coppell and Duncanville getting ready to go here. Kickoff coming up in about 25 minutes, but right now let's throw it to our studio host, where Thomas Lee has more.
Thank you, Mike, and an excellent job getting this one set. This should be a truly spectacular contest tonight between the Coppell Cowboys and the Duncanville Panthers. Coming up on the Champion Sports Radio pregame show, we will have an opportunity to hear from both head coaches. First, a conversation with the head coach of the Duncanville Panthers in his third year, Jeff Dykes, followed by a conversation with Joe McBride, the head coach of the Coppell Cowboys. It's when the Velocity Sports Performance Show continues. Live from Dallas Cowboys Stadium, you're listening to Champion Sports Radio.
Everyone says that during a tough economy, you need to make smart decisions. So if you're in the market for a car, what's an intelligent decision? Quality is the key. If you buy a quality product during this tough time, you're hedging your bet. That's why the Certified Pre-Owned program from BMW is so successful. You find a BMW that has already experienced some depreciation at a great finance rate from BMW Financial Services, as low as 0.9% on some models, and realize that it has gone through the stringent CPO checklist, so you can feel comfortable. And if this BMW is still in original warranty period, you have the BMW Zero Cost Maintenance Plan. Zero cost on items like brakes, regular maintenance, engine belts, you know the drill. I'm Eric Moss, president of Classic BMW in Plano, and I encourage you to come experience the new Classic BMW. And maybe we can find the BMW that's right for you. You can find us at Spring Creek Parkway in the Toll Road in Plano, or on the web at the all-new ClassicBMW.com.
Amazingly smooth Dr. Pepper Cherry with a little kiss of cherry flavor presents... And here's your host, Gene Simmons, a.k.a. Dr. Love.
Time to smooth out your sandpaper lives. Caller, you're in the Dr. Pepper Cherry Love Seat. Tell me who's...
Hi, Dr. Love. My boyfriend insists on wearing a beekeeper's mask at the dinner table, and it's really affecting our intimacy.
Just give him a little kiss.
I can't. There's a mesh veil in the way.
A little kiss of cherry smooths everything out. Just ask Dr. Pepper Cherry.
We still haven't sorted out this bee situation.
Oh, I'm not worried about bees. They won't come within 500 feet of me. We have a mutual agreement.
The bees or Dr. Pepper Cherry?
As always, the Love Seat solved another crime of passion. When we come back, I'll tell you how to tie a cherry stem into a sailor's knot with your tongue. You can't beat the smooth. Trust me, I'm a doctor.
Brought to you by Amazingly Smooth Dr. Pepper Cherry.
What kind of athlete are you? Maybe you're an awesome athlete getting ready to compete at the college level, or a younger athlete who wants to make varsity next year. Or maybe you don't want to compete in athletics at all, you just want to be stronger and faster. No matter what your goal, it's time to get into the game at Velocity Sports Performance. Velocity Sports Performance is the ultimate training facility that offers you a chance to be instructed by world-class performance coaches who have taught professional and Olympic-level athletes. You'll be training at the same places the pros do. Now, when you first come in, they'll measure your stats in speed, strength, and agility. And as you train in their state-of-the-art facilities, you'll be able to see your progress and improvement and get the results you want. Your opponents won't want to see you coming. So stop by their Coppell location at 801 Hammond Street or visit them on the web at www.velocitysp.com. Call and ask how you can get a free training session at 469-293-4340. Become a better athlete today at Velocity Sports Performance. And welcome back to Dallas Cowboys Stadium. Thomas Lee now here with the head coach of the Duncanville Panthers, Jeff Dykes. And, Coach, it's taken a few years, but it seems like your offense has finally taken hold with the Panthers. And I know a lot of that has to do with having a healthy quarterback, something you haven't been fortunate enough in your first couple of seasons here in the Metroplex. Talk about the maturation process of Devin Ely and then how well the offense is suited to his skills.
Well, I think you can contribute what success we have had up to this point to the health of Devin Ely and Charles Williams, our other quarterback. And obviously you've got to have 10 other guys that are surround him that are doing a very good job also, and that's pretty much the case this year. You know, our kids have adopted to our system and the discipline. You know, the culture here at Duncanville has changed. And we really believe that our kids have adopted to what's expected out of them 24/7, what it takes to get to the top of the mountain. You know, obviously we've still got strides to go, but we've made some good progress, and it's clearly been because of the play of Devin Ely, the play of 10 other guys surrounding him. And we've been very fortunate. Been very fortunate to have two good quarterbacks and make it through the year with them being very healthy.
You have always talked about, since you took over at Duncanville, about the process, about discipline. How do you think that has gone now as you're almost through 3 years here with the program?
Yep. Well, it's been you know, we've had our roadblocks here and there, and you know, discipline is not easy. Discipline is tough. You know, but our kids now understand that it's a daily routine for us, you know, as far as the expectations that we have of them and the expectations they have of themselves, and, you know, and how we want them to act with us, away from us, you know. And it's just been a complete change, and it's really been neat to see the the change occur. And I think you're seeing we're reaping the benefits of it by our play on the football field, and so hopefully we can continue to get better. And we all know that we've got a lot of ways to get better, and we definitely have our hands full tonight with Coppell. But I think our kids will be ready to go.
You guys have one of the most explosive offenses in the Metroplex. You're fourth in the area in total offense at 478 yards per game. That's just a couple yards out of being in second. Flower Mound is kind of distanced themselves with what they've done this year.
Right.
But it's a pretty amazing job of what you've done. One of the top scoring offenses, and then you add to that what you guys do on the defensive side of the ball with the speed that you bring to the table. It really kind of brings the perfect storm to a successful football team, doesn't it?
Well, I think it goes back to, we've got several weapons. Chris Simpson, our tailback, to Aaron Piper, our other speed tailback, to our receivers of Malcolm McKinney, to Jalen Parker, to Jeff Thomas. We feel we've got some pretty good weapons, and we only have one football, but I think everybody is playing unselfishly right now, and I think that's been a key ingredient to the success that we've been able to have. But just like you said, on the flip side of it, our defense is starting to play really well, and our kicking game is starting to come around. Or we've got our kicker back from eligibility, so we're going in with our guns loaded. So we'll see what's going to happen.
What have you seen from Coppell on film? I know one of the words that most coaches bring up all around the Metroplex this year, the word physical keeps coming up. What have you seen?
Yeah. Well, they're physical, very athletic, very well coached. Joey McBride and his staff, they do a great job over there, and I can't say enough good things about him. He's done a great job since he's taken that program over, and boy, look at the level that he's got them to now, and so. But his kids are believing in the system. They play a very aggressive type football, both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. They've got a great tailback in McDaniel. I mean, he's legit. And their quarterback, Maiden, he does a good job. He doesn't make mistakes. He's very accurate quarterback. Really does a good job with his leadership with the offense, and then they got the receiver Landis outside, that's their leading receiver. So they've got plenty of weapons as well. And the thing that they have that is just kind of takes you back a step is the offensive line that they have. I mean, they look like the Minnesota Vikings coming out at you. They are so huge, and so hopefully we can counter that size with our speed and quickness and different types of movements up front, and hopefully we can get some pressure on Maiden. And boy, we got to contain McDaniel because they're going to throw to him. They're going to throw to him out of the backfield, flaring him. I mean, every which way. So we've definitely got our hands full in trying to contain him, and we feel if we can contain him, we're going to have a shot.
All right, Coach. Hey, appreciate the time. Best of luck tonight going up against the Cowboys.
Okay, very good.
That's Jeff Dykes, the head coach of the Duncanville Panthers. When we come back, visit with Joe McBride, the head coach of the Coppell Cowboys. You're listening to the pregame show, the area round of the playoffs. Duncanville and Coppell coming up later here on Champion Sports Radio.
Now when you sign up for Verizon Fios, you get 60 premium movie channels free for 12 months, which is like icing on the cake, because you already get the best HD experience, plus a free movie package on top of that. But you also get free premium channels on demand, which is like little icing decorations on top of the regular icing, plus Epix HD with over 150 blockbusters every month. So on top of the icing decorations, you get little edible candy figurines. So when you add it all up, Verizon has baked you one heck of a deal. Here's how to order yours.
Sign up for Verizon Fios TV, Internet, and phone today and get 60 premium movie channels free for 12 months, plus premium on-demand channels. With Fios, you'll get 3 top-rated entertainment services, all for only $99.99 a month, and there's no term contract required. You'll also get free premium channels on demand and Epix HD. It's the perfect deal for any movie lover. Just call 888-GET-FIOS today. That's 888-438-3467. It's time for Fios. For new customers only. Equipment charges, taxes, and fees, and other terms apply. Rate may increase after 1 year. Fios services available in select areas. Offer expires 9/25/10. Call for more details.
Coach to Cure MD is an annual fundraiser that raises money for Parent Project Muscular Dystrophy. It's the largest fundraising and research organization geared specifically for Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Duchenne is a genetic and progressive disease that takes the lives of most people before their 30th birthday. Coach to Cure MD continues to grow with support from more than 5,200 high school and college coaches at over 400 different institutions, and you can help this fall by joining Coach McBride and the Cowboys on Friday, October 1st when they host Denton High. All the coaches will be wearing the Coach to Cure MD patches on their sleeves, and anybody who donates at least $1 at the gate will receive a matching sticker to proudly wear in the stands. The ultimate goal is to raise at least $1,000 for research and also raise public awareness about such a tragic disease. So come out and support Coppell football and Coach to Cure MD. See you at the stadium, and go Cowboys!
Many heart conditions can be fixed, but many of us don't know we have a problem until it's too late. On April 2nd, 2009, Zachary Schroff, a 16-year-old sophomore offensive lineman, died of sudden cardiac arrest, the #1 cause of death among student athletes. Like so many SCA victims, Zach had no heart issues, nor did anyone in his family. If Zach had an echocardiogram, he might have been able to avoid suffering a condition that takes 10,000 of our youth each year. In his memory, Living for Zachary was formed to try and prevent SCA from taking the lives of youth everywhere. Join in the fight today and stop the silent killer of SCA by scheduling your young athlete for an echocardiogram, a procedure that can detect any heart issue with 99% accuracy. For more information, visit www.livingforzachary.org. That's living4zachary.org, and let your heart be heard.
And welcome back to Dallas Cowboys Stadium. Thomas Lee now joined by the head coach of the Coppell Cowboys, Joe McBride. And, Coach, you guys came into last week against a storied playoff program in the Plano Wildcats, known for their toughness, known for being physical, known for a hard-nosed defense. And you took all those things and you did them just a little bit better than the Wildcats as you get the win at home, forcing turnovers, playing physical. I know that coaches always have things they want to improve upon, but you got to be pleased with the effort and especially with getting the win.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like our kids battled, and I knew they would. I mean, our kids, they've got a pretty good mindset of what we want to accomplish and what we expect, and just real pleased that, of how we played versus a really, really good football team.
In that game, the offensive line was able to open up some holes, but I really thought your defensive line may have stolen the show with how physical they were, how they fought off blocks. It made it real difficult for the Wildcats to run the ball, and in fact didn't even really get much penetration deep into your territory at any point in the contest.
Well, they did play well, and you know, one thing we always emphasize around here, and I say it every week, is that we've got to stop the run and get people in predictable pass situations, and that's when we can turn our hounds loose, you know, and but you've got to get people to quit, you know, to feel like they can't run it, and you got to dictate the down and distance situation. And so just real proud of those kids for battling and playing well.
Obviously, the second half start was huge. A 7-3 game gets turned into a 2-possession game as you guys go right down the field. Wonderful adjustments by the coaches and what you guys told the kids to do, and they executed to perfection. How good did you feel coming out and jumping out to that 14-3 lead to start the second half with the way your defense had performed?
Well, I was pleased. You know, we were frustrated at halftime because we felt like we did move the ball and we just shot ourselves in the foot, you know, with penalties or throwing an interception down there on third down. You know, we just were frustrated that we had not come away with a little more than 7, you know, and we challenged them, and we challenged their manhood to finish, to execute and finish, you know, getting 2/3 or 3/4 of it in what we're hunting for, you know, and so we put a great drive together there in the second half and did that, and that should have, you know, to me that should have happened a couple more times, especially one more time in the first half. But yeah, I was real pleased with that.
And then, of course, the ensuing kickoff, you guys force a fumble and are able to pounce upon it and tack on some more points. And at that point, there's a huge buzz in the stadium. The fans had come alive. Everybody was excited and feeling good.
Yeah, our fans have become a little spoiled. They think it's going to be 45-7 every game, and so I was glad to get a little bit of a momentum swing pretty heavy at that time. And I was real proud of our special teams kids because we have been preaching all year long and putting high emphasis on great special teams too, and trying to be a 3-level team that plays good on all 3 levels. And we tell our kids all the time, you can look at big games, tight games, big games, and special teams will make a difference every time. And that was the case where it did.
Obviously, you don't want to look ahead past this week, but there has to be part of you that maybe looks back to some deep playoff runs you had in years gone by, particularly as a defensive coordinator with the Hebron Hawks, thinking maybe how to pace things, how to keep the kids sharp and focused. How much do you refer back to that magical year in 2005 as you're now a head coach trying to guide your team to the same goal?
Well, quite a bit. I don't say it out loud to them a whole lot, but I did have a meeting with them during our scouting report Monday, just talking to them about, we don't have to be the best team out of all these teams in Division I, which is a really tough bracket, that we're in. But I tell them, it ain't about being the best team right now and all that. We just got to be the best team this week against Duncanville. We got to take this thing one at a time. The attrition will eliminate a lot of those big D1s that are really good, and we've just got to stay focused on this week and playing really well there and making them understand it's a dogfight, and I talked to them about when we were at Hebron and we had our 6-game playoff run and went undefeated that, it wasn't blowouts every game. You scrap and you fight and you play smart and you do the things that you got to do to stay alive that week. And then it starts all over the next week. So to really be tunnel vision 1 week at a time, to not look at what people are saying and people are writing too much, just know that we got to stay in our element right here and keep our vision narrow, and let's just take care of this week and let these weeks hopefully roll by, and then it'll be here.
Well, you already mentioned the opponent tonight, the very, very talented Duncanville Panther football team with a lot of rich playoff success over the years, and particularly Coach Dykes with what the success that he had at Lake Travis before coming up to Duncanville. So what have you seen on Coach, and how do you see this whole thing shaking out tonight? What do you need to do to be successful and get the win?
Well, I've got to, we've got to stop the run. I say it every week. We can't let them. They got tremendous athletes. And if it's a track meet with them with the football, then we're gonna really struggle. So we have really got to be fundamental and disciplined about our run fits and putting our face where we need to be, tackle well, and then we got to reassert ourselves up front and give movement so that Cam can have a big night and be multidimensional, not just in the pass game. We got to get him to really be explosive in both areas, and then we got to not turn it over. We got to win the turnover deal, and so those are the 3 things I believe in every week. So if you asked me that last week, I said the same thing.
Well, Coach, best of luck. We'll talk to you at the half. It's going to be a tough game, but we know that you are going to have the guys ready to be physical and come out there and fight hard. So best of luck to you.
Thanks, Thomas. Appreciate y'all.
That's Joe McBride, the head coach of the Coppell Cowboys. When we come back, starting lineups and the kickoff, and we'll rejoin Mike Peasley at the stadium. You're listening to the pregame show for Coppell Cowboy football here on Champion Sports Radio.
This is the hit show, Tech and Talk. I, my friends, am Ranjit. Chad, next caller.
Hey, do you guys have some sort of formula for calculating the taxes and fees on a wireless bill?
Yes, of course. First, solve this equation. X plus Y squared, where X is your monthly rate and Y is your birth year.
Now, take the derivative of that number.
And any number that rhymes with it, write them on a wall and throw a dart. The number you hit are your taxes and fees, maybe.
But probably not.
The best formula is to switch to Metro PCS. They have a no-signed contract, $40 a month, unlimited plan where taxes and fees are included.
That equation is a piece of easy cake.
Get unlimited nationwide talk, text, and web for $40 a month. Taxes and regulatory fees included. Metro PCS.
Hello.
Wireless for all. Certain restrictions apply. Some services not available in all covered areas. Coverage not available everywhere. Payment fees not included in the apply. Visit metropcs.com or a Metro PCS store for information on specific terms and conditions of service, coverage areas, handset capabilities, and applicable restrictions. Nationwide long distance available only in continental U.S. and Puerto Rico. Rates, services, and features subject to change.
Just like every patient, you want the best for your child. While you want your child to be healthy and to enjoy participating in sports, you may also have concerns about their abilities and possible injuries. This is where Velocity Sports Performance can help. Whether your child wants to be the star of the team or just wants a little more playing time, they can help your young athletes reach their goals. The coaches at Velocity Sports Performance will push athletes to their limits, but not beyond them. They will use positive reinforcement to ensure that your child feels good about his or her accomplishments. And at the completion of the first program, you'll see the improvement in your child's athletic performance and a boost in self-confidence from what they've achieved. So help your young athletes start off on the right foot by visiting their Coppell location at 801 Hammond Street or call to inquire about a free training session at 469-293-4340. Check out a list of their programs on the web at www.velocitysp.com. Become a better athlete today at Velocity Sports Performance.
And welcome back, everyone. Cowboys Stadium here in Arlington. Mike Beasley, Bart Castle getting you ready for this area round of the Class 5A Division I playoffs between the 5th-ranked Coppell Cowboys and the Duncanville Panthers. Bart Castle, probably the toughest thing for both teams today has been waiting around until about 9:30 to kick things off. This is, of course, the 4th of 4 games here in Arlington. The first 3 are finally done, and it's a long time when the kids got up this morning before they finally get to kick things off.
And coaches are typically, regardless of the sport that you're talking about, Mike, coaches are big creatures of habit. And so, as you said, to have a ball game begin at about the time ball games typically end puts a little bit of a different spin on preparation throughout the day for a coach. And so I'm sure if you ask both coaches, it's fun to play at Jerry World, but when you don't start until 9:30, it's a very different way to get the ball game underway.
Of course, the big game that was prior to this one was the Trinity-Allen game. And in case you didn't hear the score, Trinity pulls off Allen 37-35, a very entertaining football game. So Trinity advances to the regionals. They'll play Arlington-Martin next week. Martin beat St. Angelo last night 39-7. And earlier today, Midland beat El Dorado 31-7. So the winner of this game will take on Midland coming up next Saturday. So Coppell with the record of 11-0. Duncanville coming in with the record of 8-3. Bart Castle, what are you looking for in this one tonight?
Well, on the Coppell Cowboy side, one of the things that I'll be looking for is to see how this Coppell defense, which has shut people down pretty much throughout the season, is able to account for an explosive Duncanville offense. On the offensive side of the ball, to see what the Cowboys do with Cam McDaniel. We've talked about throughout the season, Mike, typically they're very patient, and if they have to wait to the third or the fourth quarter, usually their line is able to wear down the defense and get McDaniel some touches where he goes a long way. And so we'll see how that plays out throughout the ballgame.
The third member of our crew tonight is Ryan Mueller. He's on the sidelines and has this report.
Yeah, Mike, I talked to Coach McBride before the game. He said that the team had a great week of practice, and the term that he used to describe his football team was that they were very loose. He didn't want anybody to get overexcited. I asked him if there were any pregame speeches, and he said you can't have a Lombardi speech every single week, but he just told him he's real proud of them. The most important thing that his team needs to do tonight, Bart, you hit the nail right on the head. Run the football. He wants to get Cam McDaniel involved early, and we'll see if that happens.
All right, thank you very much, Ryan. We'll be checking in with him throughout the broadcast tonight as he will be patrolling the Coppell Cowboys sidelines. The Duncanville Panthers have just entered the football field. They are the home team in this football game tonight. They're wearing their home blue uniform tops, white pants, and blue helmets. Coppell, the visitors in this football game, so they're in their traveling whites, white jerseys, white pants, red numbers, and black helmets. Let's give you the starting lineups. First of all, for the Coppell Cowboys, the offense, quarterback Joe Minden, a 6'2", 190-pound senior. He's thrown for over 2,400 yards this year, 19 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. The running back is Cam McDaniel, a 5'10", 190-pound senior. McDaniel has rushed for over 1,600 yards, 28 rushing touchdowns. The receivers are Kyle Eckert and Jason Lister, along with Tyler Landis and Nate Ruby, and the strong offensive line. The left tackle is Sam Rice, left guard is Leighton Light, the center is Sterling Lucky, the right guard is Jake Williams, and the right tackle is Ani Amali. Defensively for Coppell, Tanner Rice, the big defensive end, had a banner week last week, 4.5 sacks in the win over Plano. Also, the other end is the sophomore William Uday. The nose guard is Austin Buss. The speedy linebackers on the outside, Brandon Mullins and Preston Odette. The inside, Michael Quast and Cody Marr. The safeties, Jacob Logan and David Busby. And the corners, Bennett Okacha and Daniel Logan. For the Duncanville Panthers, their quarterback is the senior Devin Ely. 2,300 yards passing, 22 touchdowns this season. The tailback is Chris Simpson. The wide receivers, Malcolm McKinney, Jeff Thomas, Jalen Parker, he's their top receiver. And they also have Jalen Wilson, the tight end, Darius Davis. Their offensive line, the left tackle is Blake King. At left guard is Adam Butler. The center, Jerry Gallimore. The right guard, Sammy Jenkins. And the right tackle is Darnell Jones. Defensively for Duncanville, the defensive ends, Josh Hewlin. He's been a 3-year starter, along with Sean Evans. And the defensive tackles, Terrell Brooks and Zach Pemberton. The linebackers, Brandon Davis, Josh Hunt, and Donnell Perry. And in the secondary, it's DJ Edwards, Quincy Overstreet, Cordray Love, and Gary Lewis. So we're just about ready for kickoff of this area round of the Class 5A Division I playoffs between number 5 Coppell and 8-3 Duncanville. It should be a good one. We'll take a break and come back with the opening kickoff next. You're listening to Coppell Football, presented by Velocity Sports Performance on Champion Sports Radio.
Hi, I'm Drew Brees, NFL quarterback for the New Orleans Saints, here with Bugs Bunny to remind you to get moving every day.
Because when you get moving an hour a day,
you fuel your body and your mind.
So what do you like to throw around the football like Drew?
Skateboard.
Play frisbee in the park.
Ride a bike.
Kick the soccer ball around.
Or dance in your room.
Just move it your way.
Because nothing makes you feel better than moving every day.
And that makes you part of a winning team.
So be a player.
You'll have more energy to do the things you like to do.
Move it your way and be a player.
Get up and play an hour a day, Doc. Check out how to be a player at letsmove.gov.
Head online to get tips on great ways to get moving every day.
That's right, at letsmove.gov. Let's hear that one more time, Doc. That's www.letsmove.gov. A message from the Ad Council and HHS.
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by Champion Sports Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, and any and all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Champion Sports Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Champion Sports Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com. This is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcasts.
Coppell Cowboys and Duncanville Panthers ready for kickoff here at Cowboys Stadium in Arlington. And Bart Castle, probably the team that gets used to this vast new building, second year in existence here, is probably going to get the edge because this is a massive building to play football in.
It is an enormous facility. It's an impressive facility. It's been fun to watch the crowd, Mike. People look up those giant Jumbotron screens, or I guess Mitsubishi Electric to be precise, and they see themselves on there, and whether they're 16 or 66, they get a big kick out of that. And I'm sure the same thing is true about the players. The Coppell captains and the Duncanville captains head out into the middle of the field onto that fabled star for the opening kickoff, and I think there's a lot to what you said, because you've got not only the combination of being 2 rounds deep in the playoffs, but playing in one of the most amazing facilities in the world. And so I'm sure there are some nerves in professional athletes, and you know there are some nerves in the hearts of high school athletes.
Coppell is trying to continue what has been an outstanding trend here today for District 7-5-8. Denton Geyer beat Cedar Hill in the first game, and then in game number 2 today, South Lake Carroll, they picked up a win over Colleyville Heritage. So we've got 2 District 7-5-8 teams into the regionals. Coppell's going to try to make it 3. Duncanville has won the coin toss, and they have elected to defer. So we'll see Devin Ely in the Panther offense right away, and Coppell will be kicking off left to right.
And it will, I thought when you talked about that Coppell was going to continue something that they had done all season, I thought you were going to say, see if they won the coin toss and then defer and put it in the hands of the other team. Duncanville wins the toss, decides to receive, and so that will put one of the strengths of the Cowboys team on the field first. That'll be their defense. We'll see, as they've done many times through the season, Mike, whether or not they can force a 3 and out and put the ball in the hands very, very quickly of that explosive offense.
So Coppell with Nick Jordan ready to kick things off. Nick Jordan, probably the happiest guy in the world to be playing at Cowboys Stadium. The kickers love this. No wind at all, and the way Jordan, we've seen him kick 11 games this season. No reason to think that this probably won't be a touchback.
Well, he did eventually get one through the uprights, if I'm not mistaken, a couple of ball games ago. So it'll be interesting, like you said, without any elements to contend with, to see whether or not tonight Duncanville ever gets to return a kickoff, because usually it's going to land back there at the top of those numbers.
Just in case, on the kickoff return, it is William Jackson and Jaquan Cole back deep, standing at the goal line. This game was originally scheduled to kick off at 8 o'clock. An hour and 35 minutes later, this playoff game is underway as Jordan approaches it with the right foot. He booms it away, and that is going to go about 6 yards deep in the end zone, and Duncanville, they will take a knee. So we'll see Devin Ely go to work, and I'm interested to see this young man, Bart, because I was doing some Duncanville games the last couple of years. He came on as a sophomore after their starting quarterback got injured the first game of the season. He had an outstanding sophomore season. Last year he was banged up, could never get 100% healthy, but he's healthy this year. 2,300 passing yards, 22 touchdowns, and just 5 interceptions. Looks like he is playing extremely well.
Well, and the number that you mentioned right there that is going to be impressive to most people is the ratio of the touchdown passes to the interceptions. And so Coppell's linebackers and secondaries will be tested by Devin Ely.
That should be a fun game. The Duncanville offense and the Coppell defense. So they will open up in the pistol formation with Ely in the shotgun. Simpson directly behind him. Takes the shotgun snap, hands it left side to Simpson. Running across the 20-yard line. He'll get about 2 yards on the play. A pickup of just a couple as the linebacker Preston Odette comes in, makes a stop for the Cowboys.
Well, we've talked all season long about the Coppell linebackers. They're the 4 leading tacklers on the team. On that play, we actually have number 41, Ethan Evans, beginning the ball game at one of the linebackers, a 6'1", 200-pound player, and he makes a good tackle there to keep it to a short gain.
So to bring up a 2nd down and 8 as Duncanville goes right to left here in quarter number 1. Move a man in motion from left to right, takes the snap. It's a quarterback draw. Ely keeps it himself, stumbles, and here's not much running room for him. He maybe picks up a yard, and just like that, Duncanville will be facing a 3rd down and long, and that's exactly what the Coppell defense is trying to force tonight.
Well, a nice play there. That play unfolded very slowly, and William Uday right on top of the play to keep it from going really anywhere. He didn't make the play, but he forced it back into the middle of the field, and that allowed the remainder of the defense to get on top of it.
So the Panthers looking at a passing situation, 3rd and 7. Again, Jalen Parker is their top receiver, 56 catches, 1,007 yards this season, and 8 receiving touchdowns. All team highs. They split out 3 receivers to the right. That's the strong side of the formation. They'll roll Ely out that way. 3rd and 7, looking to pass, throws, and he's got a man. It's caught across the 35 to the 37-yard line, and there is that man, Jalen Parker, and that'll be enough for a 1st down, a gain of 14.
Well, as you said, they do a nice job to keep him away from the Coppell pressure by rolling Ely to the right side of the formation. He rolls there. He's got a receiver sitting in the middle of the field, and he fires it out there just past the outstretched arms of the player in the secondary, Jacob Logan, for a 1st down.
Officially 13 yards, as they say, his knee touched down at the 36-yard line. But still a 1st down for Duncanville. 1st down and 10 from the 36. Little option. Ely will pitch it out right side to Simpson. Simpson is brought down on the play by David Busby, the cornerback, coming up in some run support out across the 40 to about the 41. So a nice gain for Chris Simpson in Duncanville on 1st down.
Well, David Busby and Ethan Evans there with the play. A lot of speed in the Coppell secondary, but a kind of an old-style option pitch picks up a nice gain on 1st down.
So 6 yards for Simpson. Brings up a 2nd and 4 for Duncanville. Opening drive of the football game tonight. Again, the winner will play Midland next Saturday. It is a 2nd and 4 from the 42-yard line. They got Coppell to jump in the neutral zone. They'll throw it out in the flanker to Chris Simpson. Makes the catch, makes a couple-man miss, takes it out to the 48-yard line. That'll be enough for a 1st down. Penalty flag will halt play, but this was offsides, and I would imagine they would decline that. Just take the 6 yards in the 1st down.
as you said, they had a bit of a free play there once they got the two defensive linemen to jump offside. Coppell did a decent job of keeping the play from going a long ways, Mike. A lot of times people will pause when they know there's going to be a penalty, and you can get a big play. They do decline it, and so that'll give them their second first down of the ball game.
Again, nothing wrong with this Duncanville offense. The regular season average 487 yards a game. That was tops in District 5-5A this year by about 24 yards over Cedar Hill. Duncanville and Cedar Hill tied for the district championship. Duncanville had a chance to win it outright, but let a late lead slip away in the fourth quarter to the Longhorns. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll run the football to the right side to Aaron Piper, stumbles and then runs into Michael Quast and does a good job just trying to fight back to the line of scrimmage. Might have lost a yard or two on the play.
You mentioned that Michael Quast sniffed out the play. Running back nearly went down, did a decent job. We saw some slips in the Trinity game, did a nice job putting a hand down to try to retain his balance, but Quast just too fast for him to recover and to make any progress there.
Aaron Piper, a good second running back, 733 yards, 10 touchdowns. He had 151 yards rushing last week, but loses 2 in his first carry, brings up a 2nd and 12 at the 46-yard line. Devin Ely nearly got him to jump off sides again. They did. They throw it out in the flat to Parker. Parker will take it to midfield as Preston Odette will make the stop, but for the second time on this drive, Bart, we've got a Coppell player jumping into the neutral zone.
Well, and you talked about getting used to playing in the building, getting used to the various sounds, and it may well be that Ely has been able to take some advantage of that. This will give them, as you said, a free play. They declined it the first time because they picked up a first down. I think in this particular instance they'll probably accept it.
Officials conferring at midfield. I believe it was, certainly looked like it was offsides. It was, and as you said, Bart, they will accept that penalty. Oh, we had an offsides. Got an offsides and an illegal shift against Duncanville. So there were 2 flags on the play. So those are offsetting penalties. And we'll just do the down again at 2nd and 12. So a break there for Coppell. No score, 8:28 to go here in the first quarter. Opening drive of the game for the Panthers. 4 wide receivers set. Now they've got 1 man in motion. That's Terry Cooper. They will hand the football off to about the 49-yard line, and a late flag comes in as they handed the ball off to Chris Simpson. So already some more laundry being thrown. And we'll check the penalty.
Well, one of the things that has happened as we wait for the call here, we'll see what it is.
The officials talking things over. Got a personal foul face mask against Coppell, so that's a big one. So they got about a 3-yard gain there from Simpson, and then they're going to tack on 15 more yards, and just like that, Duncanville is in Coppell territory to about the 37-yard line.
Well, and on this first drive, there have already been 3 penalties on the Cowboys, and so I know Coach McBride will want them to get on top of that. That may be some of those nerves and some adjustment to this building.
First down and 10 for Duncanville at the Cowboys 37. Ely's back to pass. Protection holds. Now he goes down. Oh, he eludes a tackler, steps up and runs, and he will get it close to the 30-yard line. Boy, Tanner Rice, who had 4.5 sacks last week, had Ely in the backfield, somehow couldn't wrestle him to the ground, and Ely picks up some positive yards, a gain of 6, when it looked like he was going to be sacked for about a 6-yard loss.
Well, and you could count on one hand the number of times that has happened to Tanner Rice this year. He is a solid tackler and a great leader on defense, and he is a bigger player than Ely, but elusive there, gets away from him, and rather than the sack, as you said, picks up a nice gain.
9th play of the drive here for Duncanville. Cooper, the wide receiver, in motion from left to right. Here's the handoff. They give it to Piper, who slips, and that allows the linebacker Ethan Evans to come in and make the tackle right at the line of scrimmage. We saw that earlier in these games today here at the Cowboys Stadium. Players have been slipping quite a bit on this turf.
And don't know whether or not, obviously, I mean, this building has the finest of everything that's here that can be offered. A lot of different types of shoes, and wonder if it's the type of field turf high school athletes are used to versus this field.
It's a loss of 1 back to the 32-yard line. 3rd down and 4. Could be 2-down territory here for Duncanville. Coppell showing blitz. They come with it on the outside. They'll throw it out in the flat. They've got the back. It's caught by Piper. He takes it inside the 25. Then it's fumbled, but it is recovered by the Panthers. The wide receiver, Jaquan Cole, was the actual man that had the reception. Jaquan Cole fumbled, but fortunately for Duncanville, it was recovered at the 21-yard line. A gain of 10 and a first down.
Well, Duncanville catches a break there. A nice tackle by the Coppell defense. They force the ball out. However, Johnny on the spot there, as you said, Jeff Thomas, he recovers the fumble. And so Duncanville impressive on this opening drive, Mike, as they march down the field.
First down and 10 at the Coppell 21-yard line. Again, they've already taken half of this first quarter clock off the scoreboard. Panthers with the shotgun. Ely play action, looking to throw to his right. Now he's going to step up and run, and he will be brought down from behind by William Uday, but not before he takes it to the 15-yard line. So a gain of 6 and some positive yards on first down for Duncanville. Devin Ely on this drive now, 3 rushes for 13 yards.
Well, a nice job there by the secondary, making it really, it looked like it might potentially be a coverage sack, but Ely steps up as the pocket breaks down around him and picks up a nice gain.
So the Panthers have entered the red zone. Second down and 5 at the 16-yard line. Ball on the left hash mark. Ely takes the shotgun snap, hands it off to Piper, or rather to the running back Simpson, who comes around the near corner and he turns it and takes it inside the 5 down to about the 4. Good blocking up front there. Number 77, Blake King, leading the way, and it's first down and goal.
Well, Simpson does a nice job. Coppell does a nice job getting penetration. However, they penetrated upfield, and they did so quickly. They literally ran past the play once Simpson was around the corner. There was a lot of green before there was the next Cowboy tackler.
First and goal at the 5. Again, this drive started at the 20-yard line, and Duncanville has marched it right down the field. They're knocking on the door. Full house backfield. Ely turns around, hands it to Simpson, looking for a running room, gets a cutback, takes it down close to the goal line. Did he get in? He did. Touchdown, Duncanville. Chris Simpson, a 5-yard touchdown run, his 19th rushing touchdown of the season, and Duncanville surprising number 5 Coppell early 6-0 with the extra point pending.
Well, on that particular play, Simpson shows why he is so valuable. It looked like he was going to be stopped at about the 5-yard line. He cuts back into the middle of the field, gets past William Uday, who tried to make an arm tackle, and gets clear up into the end zone when it looked like the Cowboys had him stopped at about the 4.
So they will try the point after touchdown. Snap, hold, the kick is up, and it is good. So with 5 minutes and 13 seconds to go, first quarter, Duncanville strikes first. Panthers lead the Cowboys 7-0. You're listening to Coppell Football, presented by Velocity Sports Performance on Champion Sports Radio.
What kind of athlete are you? Maybe you're an awesome athlete getting ready to compete at the college level, or a younger athlete who wants to make varsity next year. Or maybe you don't want to compete in athletics at all, you just want to be stronger and faster. No matter what your goal, it's time to get into the game at Velocity Sports Performance. Velocity Sports Performance is the ultimate training facility that offers you a chance to be instructed by world-class performance coaches who have taught professional and Olympic-level athletes. You'll be training at the same places the pros do. Now, when you first come in, they'll measure your stats in speed, strength, and agility. And as you train in their state-of-the-art facilities, you'll be able to see your progress and improvement and get the results you want. Your opponents won't want to see you coming. So stop by their Coppell location at 801 Hammond Street or visit them on the web at www.velocitysp.com. Call and ask how you can get a free training session at 469-293-4340. Become a better athlete today at Velocity Sports Performance.
Duncanville Panthers with a 13-play, 80-yard drive to begin this football game. Took 6:47 off the clock. Chris Simpson, a 5-yard touchdown run. And Bart Castle, Duncanville's for real.
They are for real, and oftentimes people ask, how do you keep an explosive offense down? The answer at this point is you don't let them get on the field. As you said, they exhausted over half of the first quarter, and Coppell hasn't touched the football yet.
Well, they will now. Anthony Rodriguez has it teed up at the 40-yard line. Cam McDaniel going back deep to return it here for the Cowboys. So that was an impressive drive. Here's a little pooch kick coming up on it and taking the football. That is Patrick Hemphill, one of the reserve linebackers, coming up making the catch right around the 33, 34-yard line. And now it's time for the Coppell offense to go to work, led by Cam McDaniel, 1,646 yards, 28 touchdowns, 32 total touchdowns. He has just done everything right here in 2010. I'm sure that Coppell offense itching to get out there after seeing Duncanville march right down the field.
And it will be interesting to see how Coppell responds. As you said, when you talk about Cam McDaniel, he didn't sneak into the season. He was an all-district player last year. Oftentimes people have a great junior season. They can't repeat that their senior season. He did that and then some.
Joe Minden in the shotgun, looking over to his right shoulder to see if they want a different play. They do not. Minden takes the shotgun snap, drops straight back. Pressure coming on, throws a screen to McDaniel. It's off his fingertips and incomplete. Will bring up a second down and 10. Now down to the sidelines, third member of our crew, Ryan Mueller.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mike. Yeah, talked to Coach McBride about Devin Ely. He said nothing but great things about the Duncanville quarterback. Said he's very athletic. And I said, Coach, you guys got a pretty good defense, though. And as the defense came off the field, Coach McBride went right in the middle of the field, said, hey, guys, one, throw your weight around out there, and two, we got to limit these penalties.
Second down and 10 for Coppell after they tried to screen pass out to Cam McDaniel. It was over his head. Minden back to pass again, throws underneath. He has got Nate Ruby, who puts his head down, gets it across the 40-yard line to the 41. It'll bring up a third down and short coming up.
Well, we've talked about Nate Ruby and his move from tackle to slot receiver. He does a nice job getting into the middle of the field there, and then he delivers the big lick to the tackler. And as you said, that'll bring up third and short.
Third and 2. Eckert lines up as a receiver to the left. Landis and Ruby to the right, and now the official stop play. And the official throws the back judge looks like he's got a flag on the play. And as Ryan Mueller just said, talking about penalties, let's see what this one is. And it looks like it's going to go against Duncanville, maybe with 12 men on the field. I believe they did a substitution infraction, so that's a big penalty against the Panthers, going to cost them 5 yards, and that's enough for a Coppell first down.
We've talked about throughout the season, one of the things that cannot be the case as the season advances is penalties, Mike, and thus far both teams with a few nerves.
So fresh set of downs here for Coppell. First and 10 from their own 46-yard line, trailing 7-0 with 4:24 to go in our first quarter. Minden back to pass, pocket holds, throws, and he's hit as he throws, incomplete. He got some late pressure there coming from Zach Pemberton, the big senior defensive tackle at the last second. Minden got hit, the ball falls incomplete.
Pemberton gets some pressure from the backside, and I'm not sure Joe ever saw him coming, and he got to him as he was trying to pass the football, and so it ends up going into the turf.
So the Cowboys look at a second and 10. 3 receiver set, 1 to the left, 2 to the right. Ball's on the left hash as Coppell moves left to right here in quarter number 1. Minden back to pass, 4-man rush. Pocket holds, throws underneath. He's got Landis cutting through, makes the catch to the 45 to the 40 and brought down from behind at the 38-yard line. That was all set up by the pocket holding, giving Landis enough time to come across the field. He's got himself a first down.
Well, we've talked throughout the season first about Tyler Landis. You have to account for him after you account for Cam McDaniel. And a great job there by Rice, Primera, Lucky, Williams, and Amali, giving Joe Minden time to throw the football.
Gain of 16 yards on the first down, and Coppell has entered Duncanville territory, first and 10 at the 38. On the ground to McDaniel, and Pemberton's got his arms wrapped around him and hauls him down right at the line of scrimmage. Good play there by Pemberton. He's a big boy.
He is a big boy, and right there in the middle of the line, he just does a great job getting through the block of Sterling Lucky and getting to Cam McDaniel just as the play begins.
So no gain on the play, brings up second down and 10 at the 38-yard line. Coppell trailing 7-0. Minden again in the shotgun. Play clock winding down. It is down to 5 seconds, down to 4, the 3, 2, 1. Just gets the snap off. Blitz comes from the outside. It's picked up. They throw underneath, and it's incomplete. Landis had it for a second of the 25. He's looking for a flag. Doesn't get one.
Well, it was awfully close on that particular play. We'll see it here on the replay. Joe gets it out there. I don't know, on the replay, that looks like good coverage.
The coverage on the play by Quincy's Overstreet. And now forces Coppell in a third and long, 3rd and 10 at the Duncanville 38-yard line. Landis in the right slot, Ruby to the right, Eckert to the left. Pistol formation. Minden takes it, drops straight back. looking over the middle, looks, pumps. He's going deep down the right side for Landis, and he overthrew him, and now a flag is going to be thrown. Penalty flag is going to be called. Gary Lewis had the coverage, but might have also had a part of Tyler Landis.
Well, I think that's going to be the call at about the 25-yard line, that perhaps we had holding. We'll have to see as the referee sorted out.
And that is exactly the call. Holding penalty, they'll get Gary Lewis, and that'll be a first down for Coppell and a huge penalty.
Well, that's 2 penalties on this drive. Both of them resulted in first downs. That one on the 3rd and 10. So one of the things that both teams, Mike, are going to be talking, both coaching staffs are going to be talking to their players about. We're 2 rounds deep in the playoffs. We have got to keep from letting our mistakes be part of what beat us.
So Coppell gets a break. First down and 10 as they move the football forward to the Panthers' 28-yard line. Same formation this time. Actually offset a little bit with the running back McDaniel. Cam will get the carry, stutter steps, and not much running room. He will take it to the 25-yard line and pick up about 3. Terrell Brooks, the big defensive tackle, makes the stop. Cam McDaniel last week, Bart Castle, really didn't have much going for him in the first half. Plano really shut him down.
One of the things that Coppell has the luxury of is an experienced line, and they can be patient.
Second down. They hand the ball off again to McDaniel, and maybe gets a half a yard. Looks like they're right at the 24-yard line, so it'll bring up a 3rd down and 6. Sorry, Bart, go ahead.
Well, I was simply going to say one of the advantages of having an experienced offensive line, not just last week, but we've seen several instances where McDaniel didn't have a big first half, Mike, but that offensive line eventually wears down the defense, and he begins to prevail in the second half.
So a 3rd and 6, another 3rd and long here for the Cowboys. Can they convert? 3 receivers set, ball on the left hash. Minden takes a shotgun snap, straight back in the pocket, looks, throws underneath, coming back to make the catch at the 20-yard line is Tyler Landis, and that is right at the marker. Looks like he's going to be about 2 yards short. And a decision to make now for Coach Joe McBride on a 4th down and 1 at the 19.
Well, I would imagine after watching Duncanville score number 1 and number 2, with the experience of the offensive line combined with the ability of somebody like Cam McDaniel in the backfield, we'll see him go for it here on 4th down.
And they will indeed go for it. So our first big play of the night comes up here for the Cowboys. 4th down and 1 at the Panthers' 19-yard line. Minden is still in the shotgun. McDaniel in the backfield. They hand the ball off to Cam McDaniel, and he will surge forward, and he'll get the first down to the 18. Nothing fancy there, Bart, just some smash-mouth football, mano-y-mano, and Cam McDaniel picks up the 1 yard they need.
Nothing fancy there, but again, I had just talked about the experience across that offensive line. They hand it to McDaniel and then send him between Primera and Lucky, and they open a hole and allow him to pick up the first down.
First down and 10 for the Cowboys at the Duncanville 18-yard line. McDaniel 4 rushes for 5 yards on this drive.
I said Primera, that was actually Leighton Light there blocking on the left side.
First down and 10, Minden back to pass. He's throwing into the end zone, looking for Kyle Eckert, and it's incomplete. The ball just kind of tailed on him a little bit. The ball landed out of bounds, and Eckert landed on some of the, it's like the Duncanville blow-up Panther that they used to come out onto the field.
Well, we've seen Kyle make some big catches throughout the season, and on that play, Minden looks immediately to essentially try a jump ball into the corner of the end zone. Just sends it over Kyle's head, and that'll bring up second down.
Malcolm McKinney with outstanding coverage for Duncanville. So now a second down and 10 for Coppell. Just 1:04 to play here in the first quarter. Minden back to pass. Pocket holds pressure. He's stripped from behind. That ball is loose, and it's going to be recovered by Minden. Minden got it stripped from behind by Terrell Brooks just as Minden was going to throw the football. But fortunately, Coppell gets back on top of the ball, but that's going to be a big loss.
That is going to be a big loss, and Joe never saw the defender, as you said, Terrell Brooks, coming. He was able to Tommy Hawk chop the ball, and Coppell, a big play there by Joe to get back on the football.
A loss of 10 brings up 3rd and 20 at the Duncanville 28-yard line. Again, the Panthers defensively has been impressive. It's been penalties that's hurt them on this drive. 3rd and 20 for the Cowboys. Minden back to pass, looking to his left. He's throwing into the end zone, and it is going to be caught. Touchdown, Kyle Eckert. A diving catch in the middle of the end zone. And the Cowboys answer back on a 3rd and 20 at the 28-yard line.
I talked about the fact, Mike, sorry to talk over you, that Kyle Eckert had made some big catches, and that was a big one. Had they had to turn the football over, Minden dropped straight back. Great protection. He sends it down into the middle of the field, and Kyle gathers it in at the W in the word Cowboys, and the Cowboys from Coppell score a touchdown.
And the extra point from Jordan is up and good with 8 seconds to go in the first quarter. This game is tied at 7. You're listening to Coppell Football, presented by Velocity Sports Performance on Champion Sports Radio.
Coach to Cure MD is an annual fundraiser that raises money for Parent Project Muscular Dystrophy. It's the largest fundraising and research organization geared specifically for Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Duchenne is a genetic and progressive disease that takes the lives of most people before their 30th birthday. Coach to Cure MD continues to grow with support from more than 5,200 high school and college coaches at over 400 different institutions, and you can help this fall by joining Coach McBride and the Cowboys on Friday, October 1st when they host Denton High. All the coaches will be wearing the Coach to Cure MD patches on their sleeves, and anybody who donates at least $1 at the gate will receive a matching sticker to proudly wear in the stands. The ultimate goal is to raise at least $1,000 for research and also raise public awareness about such a tragic disease. So come out and support Coppell football and Coach to Cure MD. See you at the stadium, and go Cowboys!
Kyle Eckert, a 28-yard touchdown catch for Kyle. That is his 3rd receiving touchdown of the season, his 29th catch, capping off a 14-play drive. And now here comes the ensuing kickoff, and that ball is going to go through the back of the end zone. So we saw Duncanville with a 13-play drive, Bart. We see Coppell come right back with a 14-play drive, and we're off and running tonight.
And what's significant about both of them is both teams contributed to the other team's score with their penalties, and so we'll see who really adjusts to the nerves factor first and settle down. That could be a big factor in tonight's ball game because, as you said, obviously both teams are here to play.
And we'll see what kind of adjustments the Coppell defense made as we get ready for Duncanville's second offensive series of the football game.
Thus far, both teams.
Ely will hand the football off to Chris Simpson, running around the right side, gets the corner turn out across the 25, and he gets close to a first down right at the 30-yard line, as that will do it for the first quarter of play. So each team with a long touchdown drive. We've got 1 quarter in the books of this 5A area round playoff game. It's number 5 Coppell 7, Duncanville 7. You're listening to Cowboys football, presented by Velocity Sports Performance on Champion Sports Radio.
Just like every patient, you want the best for your child. While you want your child to be healthy and to enjoy participating in sports, you may also have concerns about their abilities and possible injuries. This is where Velocity Sports Performance can help. Whether your child wants to be the star of the team or just wants a little more playing time, they can help your young athletes reach their goals. The coaches at Velocity Sports Performance will push athletes to their limits, but not beyond them. They will use positive reinforcement to ensure that your child feels good about his or her accomplishments. And at the completion of the first program, you'll see the improvement in your child's athletic performance and a boost in self-confidence from what they've achieved. So help your young athletes start off on the right foot by visiting their Coppell location at 801 Hammond Street or call to inquire about a free training session at 469-293-4340. Check out a list of their programs on the web at www.velocitysb.com. Become a better athlete today at Velocity Sports Performance.
Mike Peasley, Bart Castlebank with you here. Second quarter getting ready to start. Devin Ely running around for his life, steps on the pocket. He's throwing deep. He's got a man out there, and it is going to be incomplete, but a penalty is going to be called. A pass interference penalty is going to be called against Jacob Logan as they threw it out deep to the intended receiver, Malcolm McKinney. But a pass interference will be called. As we get ready for the second quarter, let's go back to the studio. Thomas Lee has got a scoreboard update.
Thank you, Mike. You're talking earlier about how Midland is the opponent for the winner of this one. That is exactly what's going to happen. A 31-7 win. Midland racked up 368 rushing yards, allowed just 3 yards rushing, and 176 total yards from El Dorado. So 2 o'clock, next Saturday in Midland. If Coppell wins, that's where the site and location and time will be for that showdown. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Thomas, for that report. So Jacob Logan committing the pass interference on that last play. Barton really had no idea where the football was as they threw it deep down the field.
That's exactly what happened. He completely lost it. He had his back to the play, and so he ended up all over the receiver. Another big penalty.
So a 15-yard penalty moves the football out to the 45-yard line. Here's the handoff. Ely will keep it himself. A beautiful fake. He's got running room. He's inside the Coppell 45, inside the 40, and finally taken down at the 39-yard line. A pickup of 16 yards. Beautiful fake that time, just a little read option. And Devin Ely made the right read in a first down for Duncanville.
Well, Coach McBride talked about it. Coach McBride talked about in the interview that Thomas did with him, how explosive he was, and he showed it there.
On the offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So a break there, a motion penalty. Now let's go down to the sidelines. Join our third member of our crew, Ryan Mueller.
Well, guys, just to give you an idea of what a leader Joe Menden is, the quarterback, after the touchdown, the coaching staff had the offensive line huddled over near the benches, and Joe walked right up to him, interrupted the meeting, and said, guys, you got to protect me. We got to get tough out there. You need to get in your stance. I can't do this without you. That just kind of gives you the indication of what a leader he is.
Yeah, we have certainly seen that throughout his senior season. Ryan, he's had a great year, has Joe Menden. So the 5-yard penalty wipes out the 16-yard gain for Devin Ely. Brings up a first down and 15 from the 40. Ely will roll out to his left. Now steps up, looking to run, cuts it back to the 40, 45, 50. Gets the block to the 45. Still on his feet at the 40 and finally brought down at the 39-yard line. That is a big run. A gain of 21 yards for Devin Ely, and he can do it with his feet as well as his arm.
Well, I was going to say before the last play started that we heard Joe McBride in the interview Thomas did with him talk about how explosive Ely is. You mentioned you'd seen him play for several years now, and he shows there on that particular play that he's got to be accounted for.
And Coppell will take a timeout. We'll step out as well. 31 seconds into the second quarter. We're tied at 7. You're listening to Coppell Football, presented by Velocity Sports Performance on Champion Sports Radio.
Real NFL fans know all the rules. And rule number 1 is if you want a great NFL experience, you choose Verizon Fios. Fios has NFL Network covering all 32 teams every day, and NFL Red Zone showing you every scoring play on Sunday afternoons. So there's no such thing as stopping the clock. And don't worry about unnecessary roughness, because Fios offers a smooth, crystal clear picture with 100% fiber optic HD quality. Delay of game won't be a problem either, because Fios gives you fantasy stats and updates right on your screen without ever leaving the game you're watching. In fact, the NFL on Fios is so much bigger and better than ever, you'll want to get a replay review because you won't believe your eyes. So what are you waiting for? Use a timeout right now and call 1-888-GET-FIOS to see how Verizon Fios has changed all the rules. That's 1-888-438-3467. It's time to experience the NFL like never before. It's time for Fios. Fios available in select areas. Separate subscription may be required for NFL programming.
After the Coppell timeout, Duncanville has it. First down and 10 at the Cowboys' 39-yard line. Give us to Simpson running left side. Finds the hole. Gets it. 30, 25. He's to the 20 and inside the 15 and brought down from behind. A big gain. He stretched that out to the left side. Barton finally found the hole and picks up a first down. A gain of, it looks like, to about 24 yards.
Well, you mentioned the term. They run a stretch play there, and it looks like perhaps they're going to get him there. Cody Marr tries to get him, and he just somehow gets through an almost impossible hole, and once he did, he was into the secondary for a big gain.
Bennett Okacha making the touchdown-saving tackle, but not before a gain of 24, and Duncanville knocking on the door one more time. First down and 10 at the Cowboys' 15-yard line. Well, this Duncanville offense has looked sharp early in this football game tonight. Out of the shotgun is Ely. Simpson to his left. Fakes it to Simpson. Throws to the tight end, and it's incomplete. They had him open. They had Darius Davis, but the ball was just slightly overthrown, maybe thrown a little too quickly by Devin Ely.
Well, they had a great play called, and as you said, I think that's exactly what happened because the tight end was open. After those two running plays, they had that play set up perfectly. Coppell catches a break there as Ely airmails it over the tight end's head.
First incompletion tonight for Devin Ely. He's thrown for 29 yards, and he's also has 33 yards rushing. Second down and 10 at the 15-yard line. They'll give it to Piper. He's coming around right side, and there's nowhere to go. He'll go down. David Busby will get credit with the tackle for loss. as Piper just kind of gave up on the play, loses a yard.
And again, some footing there, but it wasn't going to matter. He could have kept his feet, but David Busby was right there and makes a great tackle on the play after it gets strung out.
So a key third down upcoming for the Coppell defense. They're going to try to force Duncanville into a field goal attempt. It's 3rd and 11 at the 16-yard line. Ball's on the right hash. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Piper directly behind Ely in the shotgun. Ely takes the shotgun snap. He'll roll to his left. Now he will step up. He's going to throw into the end zone in double coverage, and he throws it away. He had Bennett Okacho over there, and then some safety help with Jacob Logan that brings up 4th down, and the field goal unit will come on for Duncanville.
Outstanding defense by the Cowboys there. They do roll the play to the left side. However, they do a great job in the secondary, and there was really no opportunity for the catch there. Nice work by the Cowboys on a big 3rd down.
So the field goal unit will come on as Anthony Rodriguez will place the tee down. Looks like at the 23-yard line. This will be a 33-yard attempt. Just a slight angle to the left. Jalen Parker is the holder. It's a high snap. Parker gets it down. Rodriguez gets it up, and that ball is right through the uprights. So we've got 9:57 to go in the first half. Duncanville reclaims the lead on the 33-yard field goal. It's now Duncanville 10, Coppell 7. You're listening to Cowboys football, presented by Velocity Sports Performance on Champion Sports Radio.
It was a cold, blustery day for football legend Michael Strahan.
Hey, it's Mike. Actually, it was like 72 degrees, but it was breezy.
On the way to his single-season sack record, victory was in the air.
I was holding a Dr. Pepper, which I guess tastes like victory because it has those original 23 flavors I love.
I'm trying to make you look awesome. Please cooperate.
You don't have to make us look awesome. I got my record, and Dr. Pepper has 23 amazing flavors.
Well, I need to say something.
Read this.
The ice-cold Dr. Pepper cascading over freshly frozen crushed ice. Every sip as original and delicious as Strahan's vicious hits.
There you go.
There's nothing like a pepper. Trust me.
That's my line. Trust me. I've sent people to the doctor.
Duncanville has to settle for a 33-yard field goal from Anthony Rodriguez, capped off an 8-play, 57-yard drive, 2:11 off the clock. And Mark Castle for the Coppell defense, I guess that's a win, holding them to just 3 points.
Well, the way that they got to the 16-yard line to put them into 3rd down, I would say that it absolutely is a win.
Here comes Rodriguez with the kickoff. Again, it's a short pooch kick. It is taken at the 29-yard line and wrapped up immediately is the backup running back Jeff Smiley. So back to work goes Joe Minden and the crew. Joe Minden on the opening drive, he was 4 of 8 for 57 yards and a 28-yard touchdown to Kyle Eckert. Let's see if they can establish Cam McDaniel, who had 4 rushes for 5 yards on that opening drive.
Well, it'll be up to the Cowboys offense to try to answer the impressive second drive that we got out of Duncanville there. The defense does hold when they need to keep them to a field goal.
1st and 10, Coppell. They will start at the 28. Minden in the shotgun. He's got Landis in the left slot. 4 receivers set, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Minden with a delayed draw to McDaniel, and Zach Pemberton was reading that one all the way. Boy, that nose guard, he has played extremely well in the first half. He'll make the tackle for loss. He was not fooled with the delay handoff.
Well, and that's the second play where Pemberton really has been on top of the play. The other one was stopped for no gain right at the line of scrimmage, but he was there almost as quickly as Joe Minden handed off to Cam McDaniel. The Cowboys pretty lucky there. They didn't end up with a turnover.
McDaniel loses 6 yards. Right now, Coppell has rushed for -11 here in this first half. 2nd and 16 from the 22-yard line. Coppell now playing from behind the chains. Minden takes the shotgun snap, looks to throw, throws over the middle. He's got Nate Ruby, makes the catch across the 35-yard line, takes the Duncanville Panther with him out to about the 39-yard line. Very close to a first down. I think he got it.
Well, they send Nate across the middle of the field. One of the nice things about having a receiver who's over 6 feet tall He gets out into the middle of the formation, and it's difficult to cover him. He does a nice job holding on to the football.
And he did pick up the first down, a gain of 17 on 2nd and 16. Nate Ruby, 2 catches, 25 yards in the first half. 1st and 10 at the 39. Blitz coming from the outside. Minden throws. He's got his safety valve. Old Tyler Landis will make the catch across the 45 to about the 46. It's a gain of 7. And for Tyler Landis, that's his 3rd catch of the football game tonight, number 59 on the season.
It's difficult to stop the Cowboys because even if you do stop Cam McDaniel, then you've got to contend with the likes of Tyler Landis and Nate Ruby out in a pass formation.
So a nice gain on first down for Duncanville. 2nd and 3. The ball's moved up to their 46-yard line. 8:24 to go first half. Coppell trailing 10-7. Minden to pass again. He throws. He's got Landis cutting across, makes the catch, and he is gone, folks. 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown. Coppell Cowboys. 54 yards. Tyler Landis coming across, and he got behind the safeties, and it was lights out for Duncanville. Touchdown Cowboys.
What a great play call there by the Coppell coaching staff. They send Tyler Landis across the formation from the left side. He breaks into the middle of the field. Perfect pass by Joe Minden. He gets around the secondary, and nobody's going to catch him. Tyler Landis into the end zone.
Safety Quincy Overstreet got caught too far in, and there was no one back deep. Extra point is good, and Duncanville is now behind for the first time as the Cowboys take a 14-10 lead with 8:11 to go here in the first half. You're listening to Coppell Football, presented by Velocity Sports Performance on Champion Sports Radio.
Coach to Cure MD is an annual fundraiser that raises money for Parent Project Muscular Dystrophy. It's the largest fundraising and research organization geared specifically for Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Duchenne is a genetic and progressive disease that takes the lives of most people before their 30th birthday. Coach to Cure MD continues to grow with support from more than 5,200 high school and college coaches at over 400 different institutions, and you can help this fall by joining Coach McBride and the Cowboys on Friday, October 1st when they host Denton High. All the coaches will be wearing the Coach to Cure MD patches on their sleeves, and anybody who donates at least $1 at the gate will receive a matching sticker to proudly wear in the stands. The ultimate goal is to raise at least $1,000 for research and also raise public awareness about such a tragic disease. So come out and support Coppell football and Coach to Cure MD. See you at the stadium, and go Cowboys!
Well, Coppell quarterback Joe Minden has his 2nd touchdown toss, and now here's a little pooch kick. That ball's bouncing on the turf. It is going to be picked up by Duncanville. Jalen Wilson, Johnny on the spot. Instead of trying to kick it off deep, they had everyone bunched up together right at the 30-yard line. Little pooch kick did hit the turf, but fortunately for the Panthers, Jalen Wilson was there to hang on to the football. Now one of the Duncanville special teams players, Richard Ramirez, a little slow getting off the football field. But going back to the touchdown, Bart Castle, a big 54-yard strike to Joe Minden. Before we get Bart's thoughts, let's get Ryan Mueller's thoughts on the Coppell sideline.
Oh, Mike had a chance to catch up with Cowboy basketball head coach Brad Chastain. I asked him if this is the best Coppell football team he's ever seen. He said there's some great teams in the late 90s under head coach Hunter Wall, but he's got to give the edge to this one. He said this is a good football team. It all starts with Joe McBride, the head coach. He's got that linebacker mentality, is what Coach Chastain said, and said this program's going to be in good hands for a long, long time.
Certainly no doubt about that. First down and 10, the 37-yard line for Duncanville, trailing for the first time. They'll fake the handoff to Simpson. Tanner Rice wasn't buying it, and we'll get Devin Ely wrapped around right at the line of scrimmage to bring up a 2nd down and 10. And Bart Castle, I think it's about time for the Coppell defense to come up, make some plays.
That's been the hallmark, really, and that's been the tone setter for the Cowboys all season long. That's why they often deferred on even if they won the toss, to let that defense get out there and really set the tone. A nice play there by Tanner Rice. We'll see if they can begin to shut this Duncanville Panther offense down.
About 89 rushing yards so far in this first half have the Cowboys. 2nd down and 10. Ely with some play action. Throws and pumps, throws, and he's got a man. It's caught. That is Terry Cooper, and Cooper will take it into Coppell territory all the way down to the 44-yard line for a first down, a gain of 19 yards. Boy, he pumped once, pumped twice, and then found Cooper.
Well, and it looked like they might have the play read. Brandon Mullins blitzed, jumped in the air, and as you said, Ely with the presence of mind to wait until it started coming down and then threw it on the 2nd pump and got it out there for a first down.
So Terry Cooper making the catch, just his 7th of the season. First down and 10 Panthers at the 44-yard line. These two teams going back and forth across the field against each other. Ely again throws underneath. That ball will be caught by Parker, and a good job getting loose from Preston Odette's hands is Parker, and he'll go across the 40, and he'll pick up a few more yards to the 38-yard line. It was Brandon Mullins that couldn't bring him down.
Wow. Those are...
Don't say those words very often.
You really don't, and you don't, and I can't think of another instance this year where we've had 2 plays in a row where Brandon's been involved and he hasn't made the play. So impressive play by Duncanville on 2 successive plays.
So it's a gain of 6 yards. It'll bring up 2nd and 4 at the 38-yard line as we approach the midway point of the second quarter. Coppell leading it 14-10. Duncanville moving the football again. Ely back to pass. Steps up in the pocket, and he will go down this time. Coverage sack that time. Coppell finally brings him down. I believe it was Cody Marr that'll get credited with the sack.
Well, a nice job there downfield, as you said, by Bennett Okacha and other members of the secondary to make it. They tried to throw a pass deep, and they just did not have the time. Nice job there by Buss, forcing him out of the pocket. And then, as you said, Cody Marr picks up the sack.
First sack of the game for the Cowboys. They had 7 last week in their 23-6 win over Plano. 3rd and 9 for Duncanville at the Coppell 43-yard line. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Ely, linebacker coming. He eludes him. He dropped the football. Now he picks it up, and Tanner Rice is there to put him away back at midfield. Sack number 2 for the Cowboys, and Duncanville will be forced to punt for the first time tonight.
And that's the Brandon Mullins we're used to seeing. Mullins comes in on a blitz and just does swat the ball. No, he does. I'm not sure he got the ball, but as Ely tried to step around him, he dropped the football, and that allowed the pressure to get to him. That's the Brandon Mullins we're used to seeing.
So back-to-back sacks will force a punt for the first time in the football game tonight. Will also present an opportunity for Cam McDaniel to try to return this punt from Anthony Rodriguez. McDaniel standing at his own 10-yard line. We'll see if Rodriguez tries to punt it away from McDaniel. Oh, here comes the rush, and they nearly got it. McDaniel, this is returnable, but he calls for the fair catch instead at the 13-yard line. I believe that was Tanner Rice that was shooting through and almost got to the punter.
It was, in fact, and I mean, it doesn't get much closer than that without a block. Not sure how Rodriguez was able to get the ball around Tanner Rice. Gets it downfield, and McDaniel calls a fair catch, but that'll bring the Cowboys back out onto the field at about their own 15-yard line.
Oh, yeah, Rice just went right through the protection, nearly got his hands on it. So Coppell, who has rushed for -11, thankfully Joe Minnens throw for 135 yards and 2 scores. 1st and 10 from their own 13-yard line. Here is the handoff to McDaniel. Little running room this time. Loses his helmet as he takes it to about the 19-yard line. A pickup of about 6 for Cam.
As we said, the benefit the Cowboys have on virtually any opponent, that experience in the offensive line, regardless of what the stats say, they can just keep handing it to McDaniel, and eventually the numbers work in their favor.
So a nice gain on first down as the clock ticked down towards 4 minutes to play here in the first half. Cowboys leading at 14-10. Minden back to pass, throws right side underneath. He's got Landis, and he'll take it to the 24-yard line on a 2nd and 5, picks up 6, and they'll move the chains. Landis already with 5 catches for 88 yards here in the first half.
Well, and you mentioned, I believe that gives him 60 or near that for the season. And when you've got some, not very big, but very dependable.
First down and 10 at the 24-yard line. Again, Coppell will also get the football to begin the second half because Duncanville won the toss and elected to receive. So a big drive right here for Coppell, leading at 14-10. Blitz coming on. It's picked up. Minden throws right side. A diving attempt, and that ball is going to be caught by the sophomore, Jason Lister. Good diving attempt there by Lister. Makes the catch across 30 to the 31, a gain of 7.
Well, one of the things that makes the Cowboys offense go, they have 7 different receivers, Mike, that have at least 10 catches. Jacob, one of those.
That is 6 consecutive completions by Joe Minden. 2nd and 3 at the 31. Back on the ground. They fake it to McDaniel. Minden will keep it himself, and he will get close to first down yardage. It will depend upon the spot. And it looks like they're going to keep him about a half a yard shy, so it'll bring up 3rd and about a half a yard to go.
Well, and a nice play there on defense for the Panthers by Sean Evans. He managed to get his hands on Joe, and that's probably why he didn't get that last piece of the...
3rd down and 1 at the 33-yard line. Minden will hand it to McDaniel. He has stood up, and I don't think he got it. He is pushed back, and I believe the Duncanville defense is held. There was not much pursuit by the offensive line, not much surge, and I think Duncanville held.
Well, we've called Zach Pemberton's name several times. He was aided on that particular play by Montel Bourret, and between the two of them, they just hold the line, as you said, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. I believe Coppell has called a timeout, Mike, to talk this over.
Actually, I believe it was Duncanville that called the timeout, as they're going to try to preserve some clock here with 2 minutes and 34 seconds to go before halftime, try to preserve some time for their offense.
Well, would imagine on this particular play that we'd see Tanner Rice punting as early as we've seen him in most ball games. Often we don't see him until deep in the ball game, if we see him at all. As you said, good surge there by the Panthers, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
And there's no guarantee that Joe McBride will punt the football right now, 4th and 1 at his own 33. We've seen him go for it before.
Well, we've seen him go for it, and the nice thing is, because we've seen Joe Minden do such a nice job with the pooch kick, one of the things that they might do is send the offense out there with the admonition, if you don't like what you see at the point of attack, he can always kick the pooch.
But Tanner Rice is coming out, the punter, to punt this one away, which is the smart call, leading 14-10 with 2:34 to go in the half.
However,
Cam McDaniel is in the football game, though.
And I was simply going to say, I'm not sure Duncanville is convinced because they don't have anybody back.
Now they will put one person dropping back. That's Cordray Love. But it is a straight punt. It's a low punt. It's going to bounce at the 40-yard line, take a little Coppell roll. Love will field the football from his own 34-yard line, looking for some running room to the left, cuts it back here to the right. If he can turn the corner, he can't, though, as it's brought down by Coppell. If he was able to turn that corner, Barcastle, he had nothing but green in front of him, but fortunately for Coppell, they were there to stop the play. Tyler Fenner there to make the stop.
Well, and he may very well have been able to turn that corner on most of the teams that he played, but we have talked throughout the season about the athleticism of these Coppell Cowboys, and that particular play seldom is going to work against the speed of the Cowboys, and it doesn't there, and he actually loses about 10 yards.
Good job, Patrick Hemphill and Tyler Fenner, bringing him down. So Duncanville will start 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line. They've got 2:17 to work with and 2 timeouts remaining. Ely will hand it off to Simpson. It's on the ground. It's loose, and it's going to be recovered, I believe, by the Panthers. No, it's going to be recovered by the Cowboys. Coppell comes away with the football. It looked like Duncanville had the football, but the last second, a Coppell player comes out of there with it, and look who comes out of there. Lucky double sevens, Austin Buss with the fumble recovery.
Well, a huge play here. Austin Buss just out-hustles the Duncanville players to the football, and he comes up with it. It looked like Duncanville was going to get it, but what a play by Austin Buss to set the Cowboys up inside the 30-yard line here at near the end of the second quarter.
First turnover of the game, and it's a big one. Coppell with it 1st and 10 at the Panthers' 23-yard line, trying to extend their 14-10 lead. And now Duncanville has called timeout. We'll step away. 2:11 to go first half. You're listening to Cowboys football presented by Velocity Sports Performance on Champion Sports Radio.
This is the hit show Tech and Talk. Hi, my friends. I'm Ranjit. Chad, next caller.
Hey, do you guys have some sort of formula for calculating the taxes and fees on a wireless bill?
Yes, of course. First, solve this equation. X plus Y squared, where X is your monthly rate and Y is your birth year.
Now, take the derivative of that number.
And any number that rhymes with it, write them on a wall and throw a dart. The number you hit are your taxes and fees, maybe.
But probably not.
The best formula is to switch to Metro PCS. They have a no-signed contract, $40 a month, unlimited plan where taxes and fees are included.
That equation is a piece of easy cake.
Get unlimited nationwide talk, text, and web for $40 a month. Taxes and regulatory fees included. Metro PCS.
Hello.
Wireless for all. Certain restrictions apply. Some services not available in all covered areas. Coverage not available everywhere. Payment fees not included in the apply. Visit metropcs.com or a Metro PCS store for information on specific terms and conditions of service, coverage areas, handset capabilities, and applicable restrictions. Nationwide long distance available only in continental U.S. and Puerto Rico. Rate, services, and features subject to change.
First down and 10, Cowboys. Duncanville brings the blitz. Minden throws incomplete. He had Tyler Landis, who had beat his man, but Minden's pass was slightly behind him. And if he hits that one on stride, Tyler Landis is walking in for his second touchdown of the night.
They absolutely had the right play called. Tyler was in front of the defender. It just goes over his head, or the Cowboys are in the end zone on the first play following the turnover. Cordray
Love had the coverage, but he was beaten by Landis. He was trailing him, but Minden just wasn't quite accurate enough on that play. So it's second down and 10. 2:07 to go before halftime. Coppell with a 4-point lead, 14-10. Trying to advance to the regionals for the second consecutive year. Play clock down to 2, down to 1. They just get the playoff. 4-man rush. Sets up a screen. McDaniel with the catch, and he's got nothing but blockers in front of him. Touchdown, Cowboys. Cam McDaniel with the receiving touchdown. That's his third receiving touchdown this year, and it is touchdown number 33 on the season.
Well, a perfectly executed screen pass there as McDaniel received the ball. A great seal block by Sam Rice out on the left side absolutely made certain that the one Duncanville defender that was out there wasn't going to be anywhere near Cam McDaniel as he streaked into the end zone.
Extra point from Jordan splits the uprights, and with 1:58 to go before halftime, Coppell takes advantage of the Duncanville turnover. Cowboys lead it 21-10. You're listening to Coppell Football, presented by Velocity Sports Performance on Champion Sports Radio.
What kind of athlete are you? Maybe you're an awesome athlete getting ready to compete at the college level, or a younger athlete who wants to make varsity next year. Or maybe you don't want to compete in athletics at all, you just want to be stronger and faster. No matter what your goal, it's time to get into the game at Velocity Sports Performance. Velocity Sports Performance is the ultimate training facility that offers you a chance to be instructed by world-class performance coaches who have taught professional and Olympic-level athletes. You'll be training at the same place as the pros do. Now, when you first come in, they'll measure your stats in speed, strength, and agility. And as you train in their state-of-the-art facilities, you'll be able to see your progress and improvement and get the results you want. Your opponents won't want to see you coming. So stop by their Coppell location at 801 Hammond Street or visit them on the web at www.velocitysp.com. Call and ask how you can get a free training session at 469-293-4340. Become a better athlete today at Velocity Sports Performance.
Welcome back, everyone. Mike Peasley, Bart Castle, Ryan Mueller, along with our studio host Thomas Lee here at Cowboys Stadium in Arlington, with the Coppell Cowboys now in front of Duncanville 21-10. Joe Minden having himself a whale of a first half, 10 of 15, 171 yards and 3 touchdowns. Here comes the kickoff from Nick Jordan, and that ball will go through the back of the end zone, and it'll be another touchback. Now down to the sidelines to Ryan Mueller.
Well, Mike, before Coppell got the turnover, there was a lot of chatter over here on the sideline saying, hey, we got to find a way to get Cam McDaniel more involved in this offense. Quarterback Joe Minden came over to Cam, put his hand on his shoulder and said, we need you. And lo and behold, Cam trots out on the field and scores a touchdown.
I saw that last week against Plano. Plano really took him out of the running game in the first half, but he did a good job of catching the football, had several receptions in that game last week against the Wildcats, and gets another reception, another receiving touchdown here today. So Duncanville, they've played well, but they find themselves down 21-10 on the scoreboard with 1:58 to go here in the first half. They've got 80 yards to go as they try to get something here before halftime. 4 receivers set for the Panthers, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. They'll roll Ely out to the left, now steps up, and he will just throw the football away as he was about ready to be wrestled to the ground there as Austin Buss was right there along with Michael Quast.
Well, they had good coverage, and Ely considered running into the middle of the field, but then he decided at the last minute to try to throw it just before they brought him down. Fortunate they didn't have a penalty on that particular play. Nice job by the secondary downfield to make it so there was no place to go.
So Duncanville now looking at a second down and 10. Same formation. Ely with the shotgun. Takes the snap. Steps up in the pocket. He's going to throw deep, and it's going to be incomplete as they try to get it out to Jeff Thomas. But outstanding coverage by Daniel Logan, the senior cornerback, and it's now 3rd and 10.
Well, the Cowboys blitzed on that particular play. They sent Brandon Mullins in around the outside. They did a nice job picking up the blitz. Ely stepped into the middle of the field, but not able to complete the pass. The defensive pressure may have been part of why he was unable to do so.
Well, the Coppell defense trying to force a 3-and-out, try to get the football back one more time before half. 3rd and 10 for Duncanville at their own 20-yard line. They'll rush 3. Ely steps up, throws, and it's going to be incomplete. He overthrew Parker. And it just like that, a quick 3-and-out, Bart Castle, and they used a total of 22 seconds, and Coppell's going to get the football back.
Well, and Duncanville's beginning to get a taste here at the end of the second half after they used up 6 minutes and 47 seconds of the first quarter to take the initial lead of what Coppell Cowboy football is all about and how balanced it is. And as you said, they find themselves now on the backside of a 21-10 deficit and having to punt, and Coppell may not be finished here in this first half.
Anthony Rodriguez standing at his own 7-yard line. The last punt was almost blocked by Tanner Rice. This time they've got the return on. Rodriguez dropped it, now picks it up, and he will punt it away. McDaniel calls for a fair catch, and he will make the fair catch back at the 40-yard line. So nearly disaster for Duncanville. Panthers are very lucky that the Cowboys had a punt return on, not a punt rush after Rodriguez had dropped the snap.
Well, had they had, as you said, had they had anybody coming in, Austin Bust almost gets it anyway.
And Bust did the right thing, too, because as soon as that ball hits the ground, you can tackle the punter, and he went after the punter. Nevertheless, the Cowboys have the football. 2 timeouts remaining at the 42-yard line. So some good field position trying to extend on their 21-10 lead. Going right to left here in quarter number 2. Joe Minden's throw for 171 yards. Looking for more? No, it's a delayed handoff to Cam McDaniel with running room. To the 45, he's to the 50. Tries to cut it outside, but he is upended there by Gary Lewis. But still, close to first down yardage. Looks like he's going to come up about a yard shy, a gain of 9, so the clock will continue to roll.
Well-executed draw play there, and it gets McDaniel out into the open, and he does a nice job picking up some yardage even after that.
Second and 1, Minden to throw. He's got Eckert, and it's knocked away beautifully that time. Cordray Love comes in and puts his fingertips on it, knocks it away, and it'll bring up 3rd and 1.
Well, you've got to like where Coppell is here. They try to throw the football there because they know they're going to have 3rd and 1, and you've got McDaniel and that receiving core to pick up that 1 yard, so they try to get downfield on that one play.
Bart, what about the offensive line so far in the first half of the Cowboys in terms of pass protection? They've given Minden a lot of time. Now they will be probably called upon to do some run blocking. 3rd and 1 from the Duncanville 49-yard line. No, they're going to pass it. Minden looking, throwing for Landis, makes the catch to the 40. Far sideline 30, 25, 20, stays on his feet and is pushed out of bounds right at the, looks like the 14-yard line. 37 more yards for Tyler Landis.
Well, they bring Tyler across the middle of the field on a little bit of a drag pattern, and they just dump it to him as he comes from left to right. He catches it, and then it's a foot race. The defensive back just with enough of an angle to push him out of bounds before he's able to get into the end zone.
Tyler Landis, 6 catches, 125 yards and a touchdown, having a whale of a first half. Joe Minden's now gone over 200 yards passing in this first half. First down and 10 for the Cowboys at the 14-yard line. 48 seconds to go here in the first half. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. McDaniel in the backfield with Minden in the shotgun. Joe takes the shotgun snap, 5-man rush, all day to throw, looking, throwing, and it's Eckert, and it's incomplete through his hands, but into the arms of another Coppell receiver. It's Tyler Landis. Touchdown, Cowboys. Everything is going right. All the breaks are going the Cowboys' way.
Well, if you're going to win a state title in any sport, you've got to have a combination of talent, and occasionally a break doesn't hurt. It goes through the hands of Nate Ruby, and it lands right in the arms of Tyler Landis in the end zone. Touchdown, Cowboys.
4th touchdown pass of the first half for Joe Minden, and that's one he's going to remember for a while.
Well, he and Tyler Landis get an unusual method on that particular play. Duncanville had it, looked like they had it defended. It goes through Nate Ruby's hands. However, right there behind him, who else but Tyler Landis?
So Tyler Landis, 7 catches, 139 yards, and a couple of scores. Tonight there is a Duncanville player down on the field in the end zone. 41 seconds to play here in the first half. Don't Can't tell the Duncanville player that is injured now. They're going to get him up to his feet, so it looks like he's okay. It's number 7. That is Quincy's Overstreet, the safety. But it caps off a 4-play, 42-yard drive, and it took just 46 seconds.
Well, and that's 2 touchdowns by the Cowboys that combined only took 59 seconds, and that's what we've gotten used to, and that's what a number of Cowboy opponents will tell you they had to put up with on the way to 11-0.
20 unanswered points. Nick Jordan can make it 21 unanswered points here for the Cowboys here in the second quarter. And what a dominating second quarter it has been. And boy, Joe Minden, we've seen it all year, Bart Castle, with this Coppell team so balanced. If you take away one thing, they can beat you with another. Duncanville's done a good job of taking away the run. Cam McDaniel just 7 carries for 14 yards. Coach Joe McBride and the offensive staff says, okay, we'll just throw the football, and that's exactly what they're doing here tonight very effectively.
Well, and after the season they had last year, because they graduated a senior quarterback, the question is, when you have a different quarterback, is he going to be able to pull the trigger like you had happening last year? Joe Minden steps in. We saw it had a steady but not overpowering game the first ball game of the season. They did win the ball game. He has grown every week since then, and he is really the trigger man of that explosive offense at this point.
Still can't get over the break the Cowboys received on that touchdown there. The Nate Ruby, he was going up and went through his hands, tipped it, but right behind him was Tyler Landis. I'm not sure if Tyler was supposed to be there on that play, but they had 2 receivers right near the area. That time it worked out for the Cowboys.
Well, if it was going to land in anybody's arms on a pass play beside the receiver based on the season that he's had, you can imagine that it would be Tyler.
And if you're Duncanville right now, you have to be a little shell-shocked. You had an outstanding first quarter. First 2 drives resulted in 10 points, but since then, they have not been able to stop the Coppell passing attack here in this first half. They've got plenty of adjustments to do in the second half. We still got 41 seconds to play here in the second quarter. Nick Jordan trotting up, and he will boom this football away. And let's see if they will return it. It's about 4 yards deep, and they will come out with it. And slipping at the 10-yard line is Jaquan Cole. And Cole only gets it to about the 11-yard line. 36 seconds left, and we'll see how aggressive Jeff Dykes and the Duncanville Panthers elect to be.
One of the things I've got to tell you, Mike, I'm a little surprised. This is my first opportunity to see the stadium. We had an opportunity to watch the second half of Allen and Trinity, and now obviously we've seen almost the first half of this. A lot of players slipping and sliding on the track here.
That was the same case for the first couple of games of the day as well. A lot of players slipping on the turf. So 1st and 10 from the 11. Ely is in the shotgun and will hand it off to Piper. Piper running to the right side gets a nice kick-out block out across the 15. He'll take it to about the 18-yard line and pick up about 7 yards. Could be the final play of the first half if they so choose.
As you said, I would imagine for Duncanville, they'll allow that to be the last play of the half, and they'll go back into the dressing room and try to make some adjustments after giving up those 21 straight points.
What makes matters worse is that Coppell will get the football to begin the third quarter. That's a nice break there for the Cowboys, who have really run roughshod here, and that is indeed going to do it here for the first half of play. And boy, what a second quarter it was, Bart Castle, for the Coppell Cowboys as they rack up 21 unanswered points and go into the locker room with a 28-10 advantage. Joe Minden with 4 touchdown passes in the first half, 2 of those going to Tyler Landis, who finished the first half with 7 catches for 139 yards. Cam McDaniel just 7 rushes for 14 yards, but Joe Minden, he has done it with his arm and throwing the football. Now let's go down to Ryan Mueller. He's got Coach Joe McBride.
Coach, of course, let's talk about the defense first. That is the heart and soul of your football team. You talked about Duncanville before the game. You said they were very athletic. We need to be more physical. You got a great effort from your defense in the first half.
Well, we started off with some miscues of communication and how we were lined up, and that's ridiculous because we can't do that. I mean, that's huge, and it really killed us, and we had penalties in that first drive. You can't do those stupid things, and but give them credit. I mean, they got good players, good coaches, but we can't make mistakes like that. But we regrouped and kind of got going a little bit, and we just got to keep doing it.
Yeah, offense, 21 unanswered points, Coach, and Joe Minden has been terrific, but you got to give the O-line the credit first and foremost. They've tightened things up. They've given him a lot of protection.
Yeah, they have. We just need to look at doing that and continue. We need to really start pounding the ball run-wise there. But, yeah, we're explosive, and that's good, and we just need to keep doing it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
All right, thank you very much, Ryan. Coach Joe McBride he has to be pleased with what has gone on here in the first half of football, and you heard him say defensively they just weren't lined up correctly. We saw that throughout a couple times in the regular season, most notably in that third quarter of the game against Geyer, when Geyer just was punishing them with the ground game. They just weren't lined up correctly. They made the adjustments and eventually came back to win that game in the fourth quarter. Well, they make the adjustments once again on the fly here, and they've done a good job defensively, especially in the second quarter.
And we've talked about that several times throughout the season. One of the things that Coach McBride and his staff do a masterful job of is making the adjustments, to use the word that you use, and I think it's apropos. And as you said, there are many coaches that can make adjustments when they've got 30 minutes to talk about it at the halftime. We've seen them several times this season make them on the fly, and it makes a big difference.
So the Coppell Cowboys trying to advance to the third round of the Class 5A Division I playoffs. So far, so good here at Cowboys Stadium in Arlington at the half. It's Coppell 28, Duncanville 10. We'll continue with more of our halftime report presented by Velocity Sports Performance coming up next here on Champion Sports Radio.
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by Champion Sports Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, and any and all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Champion Sports Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Champion Sports Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com. This is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcasts.
Just like every patient, you want the best for your child. While you want your child to be healthy and to enjoy participating in sports, you may also have concerns about their abilities and possible injuries. This is where Velocity Sports Performance can help. Whether your child wants to be the star of the team or just wants a little more playing time, they can help your young athletes reach their goals. The coaches at Velocity Sports Performance will push athletes to their limits, but not beyond them. They will use positive reinforcement to ensure that your child feels good about his or her accomplishments. And at the completion of the first program, you'll see the improvement in your child's athletic performance and a boost in self-confidence from what they've achieved. So help your young athletes start off on the right foot by visiting their Coppell location at 801 Hammond Street or call to inquire about a free training session at 469-293-4340. Check out a list of their programs on the web at www.velocitysp.com. Become a better athlete today at Velocity Sports Performance.
Amazingly smooth Dr. Pepper Cherry with a little kiss of cherry flavor presents... And here's your host, Gene Simmons, a.k.a. Dr. Love.
Time to smooth out your sandpaper lives. Caller, you're in the Dr. Pepper Cherry Love Seat. Tell me who's...
Calling Dr. Love. Hi, Dr. Love. My boyfriend insists on wearing a beekeeper's mask at the dinner table, and it's really affecting our intimacy.
Just give him a little kiss.
I can't. There's a mesh veil in the way.
A little kiss of cherry smooths everything out. Just ask Dr. Pepper Cherry.
We still haven't sorted out this bee situation.
Oh, I'm not worried about bees. They won't come within 500 feet of me. We have a mutual agreement.
The bees or Dr. Pepper Cherry?
As always, the Love Seat solved another crime of passion. When we come back, I'll tell you how to tie a cherry stem into a sailor's knot with your tongue. You can't beat the smooth. Trust me, I'm a doctor.
Brought to you by Amazingly Smooth Dr. Pepper Cherry.
Everyone says that during a tough economy, you need to make smart decisions. So if you're in the market for a car, what's an intelligent decision? Quality is the key. If you buy a quality product during this tough time, you're hedging your bet. That's why the Certified Pre-Owned program from BMW is so successful. You find a BMW that has already experienced some depreciation at a great finance rate from BMW Financial Services, as low as 0.9% on some models, and realize that it has gone through the stringent CPO checklist, so you can feel comfortable. And if this BMW is still in original warranty period, you have the BMW Zero Cost Maintenance Plan. Zero cost on items like brakes, regular maintenance, engine belts, you know the drill. I'm Eric Moss, president of Classic BMW in Plano, and I encourage you to come experience the new Classic BMW. And maybe we can find the BMW that's right for you. You can find us at Spring Creek Parkway in the Toll Road in Plano, or on the web at the all-new ClassicBMW.com.
Back here at Cowboys Stadium, Mike Peasley, Bart Castle, along with Ryan Mueller, Thomas Lee. 28-10 the score with the Coppell Cowboys in front here in the first half, Bart Castle. And, boy, you look at some of the numbers. If you're Duncanville, you think handing a team that Coppell likes to run the football, holding them to just 6 rushing yards in the first half, you think you've got a good thing going. But, boy, Joe Minden, the way he has thrown the football here in the first half, and Ryan Mueller talked about it down on the sidelines with Coach Joe McBride, the offensive line doing a great job of protecting Minden, giving some time, especially for Tyler Landis, with some crossing routes there, allowing that to open up.
Well, in the first half gave an indication of exactly what Joe McBride talked about in Thomas's pregame interview with him. He said, we want to be a 3-level football team. We want to be balanced, and that's exactly what they did. Duncanville, a nice job, as you said, they're taking the run virtually completely away, but that receiving core able to haul in the passes with Joe Minden. You give him that kind of time to throw, and we've seen it throughout the season, Mike. He is going to eat the defense alive.
Yeah, the offensive line for the Cowboys has been sturdy all season long, but to begin this football game, it was all Duncanville. They got won the opening coin toss, elected to receive, and we see why with their great offense that was averaging 487 yards a game in the regular season. They went right down the field, 13 plays, 80 yards, and it was capped off by a 5-yard touchdown run by Chris Simpson, and just like that, bam, 7-0.
Well, you talked about the big numbers that Devin Early had in the pregame open, and it was on display in that first drive. The Cowboy coaches get them over to the sideline after the combination of really 2 good drives, Mike, and they begin to get some feel for what they need to do to stop early, and the rest of the way it was all Cowboys.
Yeah, Devin Ely doing a great job on that opening drive, but Coppell, then they answered right back with a 14-play drive of their own, and Bart, it was a big play on 3rd down and 20 from the 28-yard line. Joe Minden found Kyle Eckert for a 28-yard touchdown strike in the middle of the end zone.
And when you've got an offense where on 3rd and 20 you don't have to be panicked because you've got 7 different receivers who over the course of the season have caught at least 10 passes apiece. You've got to be a defensive matchup nightmare because you can't just say, well, we've got to make certain that Tyler Landis or Cam McDaniel don't catch the football, because as you saw in that play, that still leaves you with Kyle Eckert who can catch the ball, Nate Ruby who can catch the ball, any number of people that they have to protect. And that makes it very hard. So
it was a 7-7 ball game at the end of the first quarter. Duncanville, after the Coppell touchdown, they had to settle for a 33-yard field goal by Anthony Rodriguez. It made it 10-7, but Coppell, they would answer right back, and that's when we had the Tyler Landis 54-yard touchdown catch, made it 14-10. Coppell then stopped Duncanville for the first time in the football game. Actually, they forced a fumble at the 150 or around the 2:15 mark. And then just 2 plays later, Cam McDaniel out of the backfield, wide open, and he took it in from 23 yards out, made it 21-10 with 1:58 to go in the half. Then they kicked off, touchback at the 20-yard line. Duncanville ran 3 straight pass plays, 3 straight incompletions. They only took 22 seconds off the clock, giving Coppell some time. And then we saw that wild touchdown that went through the arms of Nate Ruby into the hands of Tyler Landis from 14 yards out, and it made it 28-10 in favor of the Cowboys. So really in that second quarter, everything went right, Bart, for Coppell. They did it offensively, and their defense really stepped up large too.
The other thing that they did that was not a part of the early section of the game, you talked about perhaps adjusting to the building, the nerves of being into the second round, the fact that the ball game started at 9:30. Hey, it's a full moon, let's throw that in there. Who knows what it was. But one of the things that also stopped in the second quarter were the penalties. And once the Cowboys stopped giving any extra momentum to that explosive Duncanville defense, that also a great deal of assistance in getting them slowed and stopped.
Also saw a couple back-to-back sacks for the Cowboys in there as well. So right now everything looking good for Coppell as they try to get to the area, or rather get past the area round of the playoffs for the second consecutive year and advance to the regionals. They're on top right now 28-10 here at the intermission. And let's get some other scores from a busy Saturday of high school playoff football with Thomas Lee.
Thanks, Mike. It's been an exciting second week of the playoffs, to say the least. Let's get you caught up on the 5A scores in both the Division I and Division II brackets for North and West Texas. 5A Division I bracket, as I mentioned earlier, Midland a 31-7 win over El Paso El Dorado. Bulldogs 368 yards rushing, and their defense allowed just 3 yards rushing for El Dorado and just 176 total yards. Sets up a winner of this ball game at 2 p.m. next Saturday in Midland, and that's if the Cowboys win. On down to the bottom half of the Region 1 bracket in the 5A Division 1. Russell Bellamy was sensational for Arlington Martin. 13 of 15 through the air, 132 yards and a touchdown, 11 rushes, 63 yards. Danzel Williams, 15 rushes, 124 yards and 3 touchdowns as the Martin, they just knocked off and knocked all around San Angelo Central, 39-7 the final there. And for all their efforts, they get a date with the Trinity Trojans. An unbelievable ball game you heard earlier right here on Champion Sports Radio. 37-35 the final. Brandon Carter was unreal. 3 of 4 passing for 128 yards and 2 touchdowns. He ran 12 times for 82 yards, caught 4 balls for 43 yards. Terrence Tucson, 14 rushes, 103 yards, and it all adds up to a 2-point victory as Trinity barely holds on and ekes out the victory over the Allen Eagles. The Region 2 bracket, Ryan Polite went bananas. 21 of 26 through the air, 223 yards. Also had 3 rushing touchdowns as the defense allowed Skyline just 152 yards of offense. So Polite completes over 80% of his passes. The defense doesn't allow anything. DeSoto rolls a 38-0 win. By the way, Ryan Polite also goes over 10,000 yards passing in his high school career. They will now face Arlington Bowie, the Bulldogs, knocking off previously undefeated Klein Collins 26-16. The bottom half of the bracket, A&M Consolidated. As a team, they went 0 for 3 passing the ball, but they had 444 yards rushing en route to a 42-23 win over McKinney Boyd. They will now face Stony Point, STP 55-31 winners over Klein Oak. They only led by 3, 34-31 late in the third quarter, but they scored 3 straight rushing touchdowns to really put the ice on this one as they knock off Klein Oak. To the 5A Division 2 brackets. Cooper, Tascosa battling 14-7. The Tascosa Rebels actually had the lead early in the second quarter. Cooper would have none of it. They scored 9 quick points in a minute. Go on, put on a third quarter to remember where Tascosa had 1 yard on 6 plays. That was their entire offense. Cooper goes on and wins it 36-17. They'll take on also a member of the 4A division from last year, the Geyer Wildcats, 48-35 winners earlier today here at Dallas Cowboys Stadium. J.W. Walsh, 9 of 14 through the air, 240 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also had 14 rushes for 100 yards and 2 on the ground as well. So Geyer Cooper, a great matchup next week in the quarterfinal round. The winner of those two next week will take on the winner of, Abilene. Usual suspect. They're there. 502 yards of offense today in a 45-28 win over El Paso Coronado. Even without Herschel Sims, Paxton Grayer, 166 yards and 4 touchdowns on the ground. They now will take on the Carroll Dragons. 34-17 winners over Colleyville Heritage. Kenny Hill, 14 of 17 through the air for the sophomore, 108 yards and a touchdown. Paul Stevenson, 25 rushes, 131 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, Abilene, Carroll, does that sound familiar? Yeah, it's a rematch of the 2007 upset where Abilene won 22-21. That game's going to be 4 p.m. Saturday right here at Dallas Cowboys Stadium. And that game back in 2007, that was the first playoff loss in 20 games for the Carroll Dragons and only their second playoff loss since moving up to 5A back in 2007. Of course, the previous loss they had was against Katy in the championship game in 2003, 16-15. So there'll be a lot on the line next Saturday here at 4 p.m., Abilene and Carroll. The Region 2 bracket, 5A Division 2. Longview, South Garland doing battle. South Garland held to 43 yards and 2 first downs in the first half. That's it. Longview built a 17-0 lead, held on for a 27-14 win over the Colonels. Tomball advances over Anderson, 40-20. Mesquite Horn today battling Rowlett to advance to the third round of the playoffs. Colin Strahan, 16-24 through the air, 250 yards and a touchdown, 18 rushes, 128 yards, and 4 more scores on the ground. Horn rolls 44-22 over Rowlett. They will take on Leander, 14-7 winners over Klein as Chase Keldon has a touchdown rushing and a touchdown in the air to lead the Leander Lions to a win over the Klein Bearcats. And that'll do it for your look at the 5A playoffs, Regions 1 and 2. When we come back to the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, we will rejoin Mike Peasley and Bart Castle for some statistics from the first half. And we'll also have some highlights as well. All that and more when we continue. You're listening to Champion Sports Radio's coverage of Coppell Cowboy football presented by Velocity Sports Performance. Back after this timeout. Coach to Cure MD is an annual fundraiser that raises money for Parent Project Muscular Dystrophy. It's the largest fundraising and research organization geared specifically for Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Duchenne is a genetic and progressive disease that takes the lives of most people before their 30th birthday. Coach to Cure MD continues to grow with support from more than 5,200 high school and college coaches at over 400 different institutions, and you can help this fall by joining Coach McBride and the Cowboys on Friday, October 1st when they host Denton High. All the coaches will be wearing the Coach to Cure MD patches on their sleeves, and anybody who donates at least $1 at the gate will receive a matching sticker to proudly wear in the stands. The ultimate goal is to raise at least $1,000 for research and also raise public awareness about such a tragic disease. So come out and support Coppell football and Coach to Cure MD. See you at the stadium, and go Cowboys!
Many heart conditions can be fixed, but many of us don't know we have a problem until it's too late. On April 2nd, 2009, Zachary Schroff, a 16-year-old sophomore offensive lineman, died of sudden cardiac arrest, the #1 cause of death among student athletes. Like so many SCA victims, Zach had no heart issues, nor did anyone in his family. If Zach had an echocardiogram, he might have been able to avoid suffering a condition that takes 10,000 of our youth each year. In his memory, Living for Zachary was formed to try and prevent SCA from taking the lives of youth everywhere. Join in the fight today and stop the silent killer of SCA by scheduling your young athlete for an echocardiogram, a procedure that can detect any heart issue with 99% accuracy. For more information, visit www.livingforzachary.org. That's living4zachary.org, and let your heart be heard.
All right. Can everybody take their seats and settle down, please? Hey, come on, guys. We got a lot of work to get through today, okay? Now, let's start with some word problems. Okay, let's see. This question is for Jacob. Jacob, let's say you work 25 hours a week after school at the deli, earning $8 an hour. Sally works 30 hours a week at the movie theater, earning Y dollars an hour. And Sean works 40 hours a week at the auto shop, earning X dollars an hour. Then how are you going to drive your mother to her dialysis treatments every day and still find time to finish your science project this week?
Some students are tackling more than just their schoolwork, which is why more than 30% of them aren't graduating. But you can give them the boost they need to make it through by visiting boostup.org.
All right, listen up, class. This next question is for Susan. If you pick 27 apples and you give away 30%, how many apples will you...
Visit boostup.org today. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
Welcome back, everyone. Cowboys Stadium in Arlington getting ready for the second half with the Coppell Cowboys, the fifth-ranked team in Class 5A. They are on top of Duncanville 28-10. Let's check out the first half numbers. First of all, for Coppell, 228 yards of offense, just 6 rushing yards, 222 passing yards. Cam McDaniel carrying the football, 7 rushes for 14 yards. Joe Minden, 3 rushes for -8. But, boy, Joe has done it throwing 12 of 18 in the first half for 222 yards and 4 touchdowns. Tyler Landis, 7 catches, 139 yards and 2 touchdowns. Nate Ruby's got 2 catches for 25 yards. Kyle Eckert, 1 catch for 28 yards. It was a touchdown. Cam McDaniel, 1 reception for 23 yards. That was a touchdown. And Jason Lister has 1 reception for 7 yards. 2 penalties against the Cowboys in the first half cost them 30 yards. They had no turnovers. For the Duncanville Panthers, 139 yards of offense in the first half, 85 rushing, 54 passing. Chris Simpson with 7 carries for 60 yards and a touchdown. Devin Ely, 8 rushes for 22 yards, and Aaron Piper has carried it 4 times for 3 yards. Devin Ely passing in the first half. He's 5 of 10 for 54 yards. Jalen Parker, 2 catches for 19 yards. Terry Cooper, 1 reception for 19. Jaquan Cole has 1 catch for 10 yards, and Chris Simpson 1 reception for 6 yards. 3 penalties in the first half against the Panthers. It's cost them 20 yards. They had 1 turnover. It was the fumble, and that fumble turned into 7 Coppell Cowboys points. So it is a 28-10 lead right now in favor of the Coppell Cowboys. We will send things back to our studio host, Thomas Lee, who's got some first half highlights.
Thank you, Mike. We're going to take actually a quick break, and then we'll come back for the highlights. So stay tuned. Your exciting first half highlights right after this timeout. You're listening to Coppell Cowboy Football, presented by Velocity Sports Performance on Champion Sports Radio. What kind of athlete are you? Maybe you're an awesome athlete getting ready to compete at the college level, or a younger athlete who wants to make varsity next year. Or maybe you don't want to compete in athletics at all, you just want to be stronger and faster. No matter what your goal, it's time to get into the game at Velocity Sports Performance. Velocity Sports Performance is the ultimate training facility that offers you a chance to be instructed by world-class performance coaches who have taught professional and Olympic-level athletes. You'll be training at the same places the pros do. Now, when you first come in, they'll measure your stats in speed, strength, and agility. And as you train in their state-of-the-art facilities, you'll be able to see your progress and improvement and get the results you want. Your opponents won't want to see you coming. So stop by their Coppell location at 801 Hammond Street or visit them on the web at www.velocitysp.com. Call and ask how you can get a free training session at 469-293-4340. Become a better athlete today at Velocity Sports Performance.
Now when you sign up for Verizon Fios, you get 60 premium movie channels free for 12 months, which is like icing on the cake, because you already get the best HD experience, plus a free movie package on top of that. But you also get free premium channels on demand, which is like little icing decorations on top of the regular icing, plus Epix HD with over 150 blockbusters every month. So on top of the icing decorations, you get little edible candy figurines. So when you add it all up, Verizon has baked you one heck of a deal. Here's how to order yours.
Sign up for Verizon Fios TV, internet, and phone today and get 60 premium movie channels free for 12 months, plus premium on-demand channels. With Fios, you'll get 3 top-rated entertainment services, all for only $99.99 a month, and there's no term contract required. You'll also get free premium channels on demand and Epix HD. It's the perfect deal for any movie lover. Just call 888-GET-FIOS today. That's 888-438-3467. It's time for Fios. For new customers only. Equipment charges, taxes, and fees, and other terms apply. Rate may increase after 1 year. Fios services available in select areas. Offer expires 9/25/10. Call for more details.
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by Champion Sports Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, and any and all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Champion Sports Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Champion Sports Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com. This is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcasts. And welcome back to Dallas Cowboys Stadium. 28-10 is your score. Coppell on top of the Duncanville Panthers. We'll quickly run through some first half highlights here, brought to you by Velocity Sports Performance. And these are some highlights that everybody is going to be very pleased with and very proud of being on display, particularly for the Coppell Cowboys. It started out, looked like that Duncanville was going to take control of this contest as they take the opening kickoff and burn over 6.5 minutes off the clock and get it into the end zone in short order, mostly on the ground.
First and goal at the 5. Again, this drive started at the 20-yard line, and Duncanville has marched it right down the field. They're knocking on the door. Full house backfield. Ely turns around, hands it to Simpson, looking for a running room, gets a cutback, takes it down close to the goal line. Did he get in? He did. Touchdown, Duncanville. Chris Simpson, a 5-yard touchdown run, his 19th rushing touchdown of the season, and Duncanville surprising number 5 Coppell early 6-0 with the
Extra point up and good. That made it 7-0, but the Cowboys equal to the task, and they come marching right back down the field on their own time-consuming drive. 13 plays for Duncanville. Well, it takes 14 for Coppell. Similar result.
3rd and 20 for the Cowboys. Minden back to pass, looking to his left. He's throwing into the end zone, and it is going to be caught. Touchdown, Kyle Eckerd. A diving catch in the middle of the end zone. And the Cowboys answer back on a 3rd and 20.
Still waiting for defenses to show up. Duncanville takes the ensuing kickoff, 8 plays down the field. They kick a 33-yard field goal, so 10-7, Duncanville leading at that point. Well, still more fireworks to go at the early stages of the second quarter. And who else but Tyler Landis was Joe Minden going to find to put up a huge score and swing the momentum to the Cowboys' side?
Minden to pass again. He throws. He's got Landis cutting across, makes the catch, and he is gone, folks. 30, 20, 10. 5, touchdown, Coppell Cowboys, 54 yards. Tyler Landis coming across, and he got behind the safeties, and it was lights out for Duncanville. Touchdown, Cowboys.
That made it 14-10 at that point. Then the defenses, well, maybe a little late getting off the bus. Both of them force punts, and then Duncanville takes back over, and the Coppell defense really comes up with a huge play courtesy of Austin Buss.
Duncanville will start 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line. They've got 2:17 to work with and 2 timeouts remaining. Ely will hand it off to Simpson. It's on the ground. It's loose, and it's going to be recovered, I believe, by the Panthers. No, it's going to be recovered by the Cowboys. Coppell comes away with the football. It looked like Duncanville had the football, but the last second a Coppell player comes out of there with it, and look who comes out of there. Lucky double sevens, Austin Buss with the fumble recovery.
So then the Cowboy offense starting in plus territory at the Duncanville 23. I'd give it to McDaniel too, but this time they go to the air.
Play clock down to 2, down to 1. They just get the play off. 4-man rush. Sets up a screen. McDaniel with the catch, and he's got nothing but blockers in front of him. Touchdown, Cowboys. Cam McDaniel with the receiving touchdown. That's his 3rd receiving touchdown this year, and it is touchdown number 33 on the season.
Not yet, Mike. He might score a couple more in the second half and get up to 35, but after forcing a punt, the Coppell Cowboys go back to work, and, well, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
1st down and 10 for the Cowboys at the 14-yard line. 48 seconds to go here in the first half. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. McDaniel in the backfield with Minden in the shotgun. Joe takes the shotgun snap. 5-man rush. All day to throw. Looking, throwing. And it's Eckerd, and it's incomplete through his hands, but into the arms of another Coppell receiver. It's Tyler Landis. Touchdown, Cowboys. Everything is going right. All the breaks are going the Cowboys' way.
28-10 the score. That's what it is right now. We're about to start the second half. Let's get you back to the stadium and Mike Peasley.
All right, thank you very much, Thomas Lee. 28-10 our score. The Cowboys with the lead, and Bart Castle will get the football as well to begin the second half. So many times this season we've seen the Cowboys, when they get a nice, sizable lead, they just start to hand it off to Cam McDaniel, just try to shorten the game with the running game.
And that's a real advantage with that offensive line, with all that experience and a talented back like Cam McDaniel. We'll see if they can keep the momentum and just finish this one off early.
Here comes a little pooch kick. Coming up to get it is Bennett Okacha at the 40-yard line. Good awareness by Bennett. Breaks a couple tackles, takes it to midfield. Then he lost the football. He fumbled it, and now you got a mad scramble at the 47. Now they're going to have to untangle some bodies and see who came away with the football. Duncanville is pointing their way, and this would be a huge break for the Panthers if they did get on top of the football. They're still unpiling bodies. No decision yet from the officials. And it is going to be Duncanville football as they recover the fumble. It's number 10 coming out of there with it, DJ Edwards. So Bennett Okacha take the short kick and did a nice job returning it 11 yards, but just didn't secure it at the very end as it was stripped away. I believe it was stripped away by Cordray Love.
As you said, Bennett did a nice job returning it, had the opportunity to set the Cowboys up in great field position. However, as they go through there, one of the Duncanville Panthers, and it was in fact number 33, we see on the replay, Cordray Love, able to get a hand in there and strip it, and then good hustle, and so it works out the same as an onside kick in that they end up with a football.
So a break for Duncanville. First turnover of the game against the Cowboys gives them the ball. 1st and 10 from their own 47-yard line. Option right. They will pitch it out to Simpson, but there's nothing but white jerseys over there. Brandon Mullins will make the stop. Also, Cody Marr there at the 49-yard line. It's a pickup of 2 yards, and now we go down to the sidelines. Third member of our crew, Ryan Mueller.
Mike, I had a chance to catch up with Duncanville head coach Jeff Dykes. He said, hey, this second half, we're going to find a lot about our character and this team. And he said he told the team to forget about what happened in the first half, believe in themselves, believe in the system, and it's all going to work out. I asked him what needs to change offensively. He calls for better protection up front. He said in order for Devin Ely to have success, they've got to have blocking up front.
Best starting field position of the game for Duncanville at their own 47. They pick up 2 yards on first down. Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 49-yard line. Ely rolls out to his left looking to throw in the flat, and he throws it short. Incomplete, trying to get it to his wide receiver, the junior Jeff Thomas, but just left it short.
Well, he had the time to pass, just doesn't get the football out there, and that sets up the Cowboy defense right where they'd like to be, and that's 3rd and long here, trying to stave off anything after this turnover.
Tough for a right-handed quarterback to roll left and throw that way. So now a 3rd down and 8 for the Panthers from their own 49-yard line. Again, a Duncanville team averaging 487 yards. They had just 139 yards in the first half against this Coppell defense. 3rd and 8 at the 49-yard line. Mullins comes on an outside blitz. Ely eludes him, now steps up and runs and breaks through into the 40. He's to the 35 to the 30, puts his head down and takes it to the 27-yard line. Devin Ely doing it with his legs, giving Duncanville a much-needed first down.
Well, Devin Ely there showing how valuable he is. Brandon Mullins blitzed and forced the play to the middle of the field. However, at that point, Ely just able to get past the linebacking core and into the secondary for a big gain.
Gain of 24 for the quarterback, Devin Ely. Now 9 rushes, 46 yards tonight, and picks up a first down on a 3rd down and 8. 1st and 10, Duncanville at the 27-yard line of Coppell. They're moving right to left here in the 3rd quarter. Ely will go play action, looking to throw deep into the corner of the end zone, and it is going to be incomplete. No penalty flag as Daniel Logan had the coverage. The intended receiver was Malcolm McKinney.
Well, Daniel Logan had McKinney all the way down the field and does a nice job. He does get turned around, and he's fortunate there that he's not flagged for interference on the replay. It's clear that he kind of lost it. He was there step by step, but he got his back turned. That's what you don't want to do as a defensive back.
That's in the NFL. That's penalty, 1st and goal at the 1, but in high school football face guarding, you can do that. So 2nd down and 10 at the 27-yard line. The pistol formation, they'll option it out to the right. They'll pitch it to Simpson, and the Cowboys are ready for it. Good job by Bennett Okacha, the quarterback, who's going to play ball at the University of Wisconsin for Brett Bielema next year. Comes up, makes the tackle for about a half-a-yard loss.
They try that stretch pitch that they had success with early in the first half. However, Coppell reads it. Bennett Okacha right there, never even blocked, and flattens Simpson right as he gets the pitch.
Not only Bennett Okacha, a shutdown corner, he can come up in some run support too and put a lick on you. And after fumbling the football, Okacha's got a little extra motivation on defense on this drive. So a loss of 1 on the play brings up 3rd and 11 for the Panthers from the Cowboys' 28-yard line. Empty backfield, 5 wide receivers set. 3-man rush for the Cowboys. Ely straight back over the middle, and that ball is going to be incomplete. It's overthrown as they try to get it to their top receiver, Jalen Parker, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, the important thing Coppell needed to do after the turnover was keep Duncanville out of the end zone, and it looks like that they have done that at least for the short term. Got a 4th down here. Ely is still on the field, and so it looks like with this deep field position, Duncanville is going to go for it. So a big play here for the Cowboy defense.
Ely has misfired on his last 6 pass attempts. Again, came in completing 59% of his passes, but tonight he's just 5 of 13. Too far for a field goal attempt. So they will go for it. 4th and 11 at the 28-yard line. Coppell fans below us start to come to their feet. 5 receivers set. Here comes the blitz. It's picked up nicely. Ely nowhere to throw. It's going to tuck it under, and he's going to run, and he breaks a couple tackles, but well shy of a first down as he takes one last lick from Jacob Logan at the 25-yard line, and that'll be a turnover on downs.
Well, a nice job there. Great coverage in the secondary because there was plenty of time. However, eventually, because there's nobody to pass it to, Ely has to pull it down, and when he does, the linebackers are there to take him down. The tackle made there in the secondary by Preston Odette.
Great coverage downfield because Coppell was bringing some pressure, so they had some man-to-man coverage. So a turnover on downs, 1st and 10 Coppell at the 24-yard line. They're first drive of the second half, leading 28-10 with 9:31 left here in the third quarter. Minden takes the shotgun snap, hands it off to McDaniel, and McDaniel moving the pile forward across the 25 out to about the 27-yard line. A hard-fought run of about 3 yards.
And as you said, just as the half was beginning, the advantage Coppell has now is the ability to turn around and hand the football to Cam McDaniel as that big, experienced offensive line just pounds on that Duncanville defense.
Second down and 6 at the 28-yard line. 4 receivers set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Minden straight back in the pocket, looking to throw. Throws, and it is going to be sliding attempt by Kyle Eckert to the 45-yard line, incomplete, and a late flag is thrown in. Malcolm McKinney, and boy, the back judge threw that flag, and McKinney none too pleased about it.
Well, we'll see, but the way everybody's walking, it does in fact look like it's going to be a call against Duncanville, and that'll give the Cowboys a first down.
Going to call pass interference against McKinney, so that's a 15-yard penalty and a first down. 4th penalty of the night, and the Duncanville fans across the way don't like the call. Cowboys will take it. Just checking out the replay right here, and didn't really see a lot. First down and 10 Coppell at the 43-yard line. Minden in the shotgun, looking back to his right to see if the coaches want a different play. Here's the handoff. They stretch it out to Cam McDaniel. Good cutback. Takes it to the 50-yard line, down to the Duncanville 45, and that'll be enough for a Coppell first down. A pickup of 11 on Cam McDaniel's best run of the night.
Well, they handed him McDaniel, and he goes around the right side, and he goes between Jake Williams and Ani Amali. They both do a great job opening a hole, and Cam does the rest.
All right, Williams and Amali, that right side of the offensive line has been so sturdy this year for the Cowboys. First down and 10 after the gain of 11. First and 10 at the 46. 8.5 minutes to play third quarter. Coppell leading 28-10. Ball's on the right hash. 3 receivers to the strong side. They'll hand it off to McDaniel, and he will be tackled in the backfield. A tackle for loss there. It's number 99, Terrell Brooks. The senior defensive tackle makes the stop for a sizable loss of about 2 or 3 yards.
Well, the Panthers run a stunt right there, and they send Brooks between the guard and the tackle, and he gets in there on the stunt call and is there at the time Cam gets the football and brings him down for a loss.
Yeah, loss of 5 yards on the play, moves the football back to the Coppell side of the 50 at the 49-yard line. Joe Minden and the Cowboys looking at a second down and 15. Minden back to pass. Blitz coming on. It's picked up by McDaniel. Now Minden has to run out of trouble. Tries to dump it off to Kyle Eckert, and it falls incomplete at the 45-yard line. And now Coppell staring at a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15. They brought pressure that time from Josh Hunt, the linebacker. It was picked up well by McDaniel, the running back, but it flushed Minden out of the pocket. Had to throw it on the run and threw it incomplete.
Well, a big 3rd and 15, as you said. We will see whether or not Cowboys go to the air. Great protection on that last play.
Cameron Smith, the wide receiver, to the right. Landis, Ruby, and Eckert are to the left. They've completed a 3rd and 20 tonight. Now it's a 3rd and 15. Blitz coming on. McDaniel picks it up again. They throw to Cameron Smith. Makes the catch. Makes the man miss at the 40-yard line. Still on his feet at the 35 and down close to the 30-yard line. The sophomore Cameron Smith coming up with a big catch to the 31. A pickup of 18 yards and a Coppell first down.
Mentioned, Mike, that they have 7 different receivers with 10 catches or more. When you've got that kind of balance and that kind of weapons, it makes it very difficult to defend a team. 2
great sophomore receivers as well, Jason Lister and Cameron Smith. Smith making his first catch of the night. And it's a fresh set of downs for the Cowboys. 1st and 10 at the 31. 7:18 to go in the third. High snap. They get it off to Cam McDaniel. Running right side. Gets a good block. Takes it inside the 25 and down close to the 20. It'll be another Coppell first down. And now we're starting to see Cowboys football broadcast with that offensive line running to the right side with Williams and Amali. Good blocking up front by the big guys, and Cam McDaniel picks up a nice gain of first down.
And I'm sorry, Mike, to talk over you there. Literally on that particular play, great blocking out of Sterling Lucky, Jake Williams, and Ani Amali on that play. Open up a hole that lets McDaniel get into the secondary for a first down.
Gain of 11 for McDaniel. Cowboys in the red zone. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line of the Panthers. Minden back to pass. Will throw it out in the flat to Minden, or rather to McDaniel. Stumbles a little bit as he makes the catch, and he will be tackled for a loss. back at the 22-yard line. He'll lose a couple of yards on that play.
Well, we saw that turf tackle there. Cam does a nice job to get a hand down. However, to keep himself upright, it gave the Panther defenders an opportunity to get to him before he could really get into the middle of the field and get untracked.
Loss of 3 officially. They had the Sean Evans, the defensive end, kind of blew up that play for Duncanville. So it's a loss of 3, brings up 2nd and 13 for the Cowboys. From the Duncanville 23-yard line, ball in the middle of the football field. It's a 4-receiver set. Minden in the shotgun. McDaniel behind him to his right. Minden back to pass, throwing, going up, and it's going to be caught inside the 10-yard line. Tyler Landis goes up, makes the catch of the 9, a pickup of 14 yards. His 8th catch of the night, and Tyler Landis does it one more time.
And, I mean, that was all Tyler. Duncanville had him covered. The defender was right there with him. He goes up and hauls it in, brings it down for a 1st and goal. Great catch. That's what they expect out of Tyler Landis, and he delivers virtually every time.
Boy, Tyler Landis, so fun to watch. He's only 5'8", but he jumped as high as he could to bring in that fingertip catch, and it's 1st and goal at the 8-yard line. Coppell trying to extend their lead. A little option here for Joe Minden. Keeps it himself, takes it to the 5. He's down to the inside the 2 to the 1-yard line. Pickup of 7 yards on that run. And the Cowboys knocking on the door one more time.
And 2 things made that play. Number 1, they have to account for McDaniel on the potential pitch. And when defenders commit to him, they can't stay with Joe Minden. Also, great blocking again by the line.
Could be touchdown number 34 upcoming for Cam McDaniel. They hand it to Cam. He's in across the goal line. Touchdown, Cowboys. 5:09 to play in the 3rd quarter, and Coppell now leads it 34-10.
Well, they don't do anything fancy there. They hand it to Cam McDaniel, and he goes behind Emilio Primera, who literally blocks down to the inside. He and Sterling Lucky push the nose tackle out to the right. McDaniel goes to the left and into the end zone. I'm sorry, Leighton Light.
Leighton Light, the starting left guard, and here comes the extra point attempt. It's up and good. And with 5:09 to play in the 3rd quarter, Coppell with 28 unanswered points. They're in front 35-10. You're listening to Cowboys football presented by Velocity Sports Performance on Champion Sports Radio.
Just like every patient, you want the best for your child. While you want your child to be healthy and to enjoy participating in sports, you may also have concerns about their abilities and possible injuries. This is where Velocity Sports Performance can help. Whether your child wants to be the star of the team or just wants a little more playing time, they can help your young athletes reach their goals. The coaches at Velocity Sports Performance will push athletes to their limits, but not beyond them. They will use positive reinforcement to ensure that your child feels good about his or her accomplishments. And at the completion of the first program, you'll see the improvement in your child's athletic performance and a boost in self-confidence from what they've achieved. So help your young athletes start off on the right foot by visiting their Coppell location at 801 Hammond Street or call to inquire about a free training session at 469-293-4340. Check out a list of their programs on the web at www.velocitysp.com. Become a better athlete today at Velocity Sports Performance.
Welcome back, everyone. Cowboys Stadium here in Arlington, where the Coppell Cowboys stretch their lead out to 35-10 over Duncanville. A nice 11-play, 76-yard drive. Took 4:04 off the clock. Cam McDaniel with a 1-yard touchdown run. His 29th rushing touchdown of the season and number 34 overall. Here is the ensuing kickoff. That'll be taken on a knee by Aaron Piper, and Duncanville will go back to work 1st and 10 at the 20. Okay, Bart Castle, you're the Duncanville Panthers. You haven't done much offensively since the 1st quarter. What do they have to do to try to get on track against this Coppell defense?
That's a great question. I'm glad we're up here describing the action instead of trying to come up with that solution. I think they have to try to find some way to get Devin. How do you help a quarterback complete passes? Their offensive line has done a reasonable job giving him protection. He just hasn't been hitting the receivers out in the pattern, and that's a difficult thing to correct. And in fact, it looks like they've got a new trigger man.
They do. Charles Williams is coming in as the new quarterback, the senior, 16 of 26 this year, 178 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He throws out in the flat. It's got Malcolm McKinney, makes the catch, makes a couple men miss, and he will be escorted to the Coppell boundary right at the 30-yard line in a pickup of 10 yards.
Well, maybe that's the answer to the question that you ask, because, in fact, you can't complete passes as the coach. And so Duncanville really realizing 25 points down, they've got little to lose. As good a job as Ely's done, perhaps bring someone else in who can establish a new tempo.
Charles Williams played a lot of quarterback last year as a junior when Devin Ely just could not get 100% healthy. Completes his first pass, 1st and 10, at the 31-yard line after the gain of 11. Williams again fakes the handoff, looks to throw. He's got all day. Now he's going to step up and run across the 35, and he will take it out to the 39-yard line and pick up 8 yards with the run.
Well, an outstanding job by the Cowboys secondary. He was there. He had plenty of protection. A great job by their offensive line keeping him from being sacked. But the coverage was so strong by the Cowboys, he eventually had to pull it down and run with it.
They'll give him 9 officially as they move the football ahead to the 40. So it's 2nd down and 1. 4:25 to go in the third quarter. Coppell with a comfortable 35-10 lead. Here is the handoff to Chris Simpson, and Simpson will be tackled in the backfield for a loss. Good pursuit that time by the defensive front there. Tanner Rice, Austin Buss, as they blew up that play, and Rice will get credit with the tackle for loss, a loss of 3 yards.
Well, and Tanner Rice will get credit for the tackle, but the play was really made by Austin Buss. He was double-teamed there by the center and the right guard, and he managed to get between the two of them and into the backfield, and the ball carrier bounced right into Tanner Rice's arm.
So a 3rd and 4 for the Panthers at the 37-yard line. Coppell defense looking for a stop here to try to get off the field one more time. And you got the left guard that moved. It's going to cost them 5 more yards. So that 3rd down and 4, Bart Castle, has now come to a 3rd down and 9.
False start by the offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
And I mentioned a while ago, as we hear the official talking about the penalty, that the last thing you want to do in a ball game at this level is hand a dangerous opponent some advantage. And with Coppell's defense firing on all cylinders, for Duncanville to have a penalty, the last thing Coach Dyke has wanted.
5th penalty tonight against the Panthers. 3rd and 9 from the 32-yard line. We'll split out 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. Now they bring 1 man in motion from left to right. That's Terry Cooper. They will roll out to the right. Williams looking to throw. Steps up, and he is going to go down back inside the 30-yard line. It is Cody Marr that chased him down from behind the linebacker at the 29-yard line. There is a penalty flag throw that was thrown right at the snap of the football.
Well, they try to buy him some time by rolling. Cody Marr does a great job not giving up his lane to the outside, and Tanner Rice pursuing from the backside, and he and Cody get there at about the same time and bring the ball carrier down. It's going to go over on downs.
Illegal shift by the offense. The penalty is declined. 4th down.
So they will take the 3-yard loss and bring up 4th down and 12 and bring in the punting unit one more time. So again, a good job by the Coppell defense, as they will force Duncanville to punt the football away with 3 minutes here in the third quarter, and Coppell comfortably in front 35-10. Don't forget, early in the second quarter, the Cowboys were down in this game 10-7. Here comes the punt attempt by Rodriguez. It's high, it's short. Fair catch called for by Cam McDaniel. Makes it at the 35-yard line. That will be a 36-yard punt and no return, and the Cowboy offense will go back to work, and they certainly look sharp on their opening drive, Bart, with an 11-play, 76-yard drive for a score.
And we buy tickets to games because we don't know the outcome, but at this particular point, Coppell certainly looks like they are now hitting on all cylinders, and it will be very difficult, I think, Mike, to stop them if they don't stop themselves through the remainder of this football game.
And this is getting close to the time of the game where they just start grinding things out of the ground, just try to shorten the game, pick up 4 or 5 yards on 1st down, keep the clock moving. And they will start it here with a run to Cam McDaniel. Breaks a couple tackles, still on his feet at the 40, at the 45, and finally drugged down at the 49-yard line. Tough run of 16 yards for Cam McDaniel.
And that's the great thing about having this line and this running back, is on that particular play, it looked like at the point of attack They had him down. He breaks a tackle and gets downfield for a 16-yard pickup.
Trey Edwards, the sophomore safety, finally brought him down from behind, but not before a gain of 16 for McDaniel and a first down for Coppell. 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Minden with 252 yards passing, 4 touchdowns tonight. Will hand the ball off to McDaniel, runs it right up the gut, takes it to the other side of the 50-yard line, a pickup of 2 yards for McDaniel.
The other benefit that you said that the Cowboys have at this particular time, even if they don't really gain any yardage, they burn up about 45 seconds of play or 5 minutes of drive, and they're ahead by almost 4 touchdowns.
2nd and 8, final 2 minutes of play here in the quarter. After this play, we'll get a scoreboard update with Thomas Late. Coppell with the 35-10 lead. Minden letting the play clock wind down. It's down to 5. He's going to go back to pass. Looking to throw. Throws it out in the flat. A dangerous pass, and it's incomplete. Looking for Nate Ruby. Stops the clock with 1:29 to go. Gives us a chance to go back to Thomas Lee for this scoreboard update.
You know, Mike, everybody knows that Coach McBride won his state championship as a defensive coordinator at Hebron. Well, right around that same time, it's the last time the Hawks won a volleyball title. Final in from San Marcos. Lady Hawks do it again. 25-23, 25-17, 27-25. A 3-game sweep over the Woodlands. And for Duncanville fans, I have some good news. Eric McDade's basketball team won 53-41 today over Houston Bel Air.
And if I'm not mistaken, the Hebron volleyball team did not lose a set in the entire tournament. So congratulations to the Lady Hawks on a state volleyball championship tonight. 3rd down and 8 here for the Cowboys. Minden flushed out of the pocket, rolls to his right, throws underneath, a diving attempt, and that ball is going to be caught by Jeff Smiley, their backup running back, at around the 44-yard line, shy of a first down, however. It'll bring up 4th down and 4.
Jeff Smiley with a nice catch there. Smiley, a real bright spot among a number of talented underclassmen that Coppell Cowboy fans will be watching for the next couple of years. Not enough to pick up the first down, but picks up enough. Since they're inside the first down with this lead, it looks like the Cowboys will go ahead and go for it on 4th down.
4th and 4 at the 45-yard line. And now a timeout will be taken by the Cowboys. We'll step away. 47 seconds left in the third. Coppell leads at 35-10. You're listening to Cowboys football, presented by Velocity Sports Performance on Champion Sports Radio.
Coach to Cure MD is an annual fundraiser that raises money for Parent Project Muscular Dystrophy. It's the largest fundraising and research organization geared specifically for Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Duchenne is a genetic and progressive disease that takes the lives of most people before their 30th birthday. Coach to Cure MD continues to grow with support from more than 5,200 high school and college coaches at over 400 different institutions, and you can help this fall by joining Coach McBride and the Cowboys on Friday, October 1st when they host Denton High. All the coaches will be wearing the Coach to Cure MD patches on their sleeves, and anybody who donates at least $1 at the gate will receive a matching sticker to proudly wear in the stands. The ultimate goal is to raise at least $1,000 for research and also raise public awareness about such a tragic disease. So come out and support Coppell football and Coach to Cure MD. See you at the stadium, and go Cowboys!
Back at Cowboys Stadium in Arlington. 4th and 4 for Coppell. Looks like they're going to go for it at the 45-yard line, but we've seen Joe Minden in the past just step back and try and pooch kick it, so we'll see what Coach Joe McBride decides to do. And Minden now takes a couple steps back and will indeed try that little pooch punt with no one back deep. They're going to try to pin him deep. It's going to bounce inside the 10, down to the 5, and it's going to roll dead at the 3. Joe Minden, you're doing everything tonight. He's thrown for 257 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now has a beautiful punt down to the Duncanville 3.
Well, and we've seen him do that on a number of occasions, Mike, throughout the season. And so really nothing to lose if they don't get the defensive formation they want. They send Joe back there. He hits like he hit a 9-iron, and it checks up, as you said, at the 3-yard line and just dies there. They don't even have to have one of their players down it. Tyler Landis, a nice job getting down there, so he could have had he needed to, but literally the ball checks up and just stops. And so Duncanville in a deep hole.
They will start at their own 4-yard line. Charles Williams will get his second series. He's joined in the backfield by Derek Johnson, a senior running back. Williams in the shotgun. Always dangerous in the shotgun as he stands a yard deep in his end zone. 1st and 10, he's going to roll out to his right. It's a designed run, cuts it back, and he'll take it out to about the 9-yard line, a pickup of 5 for Williams as the clock ticks down here in the final 25 seconds of the third quarter.
Well, and one of the challenges that Duncanville has right now, down by almost 4 touchdowns, is trying to pass the ball, plays into that talented linebacking core in secondary, but if they run the football, it burns up the clock, so they really don't have strong options.
It doesn't look like Duncanville is going to get another playoff before the quarter ends. They will not. So we've got 3 quarters in the books right now. 5th-ranked Coppell on top of Duncanville 35-10 as we head to the 4th. You're listening to Cowboys football presented by Velocity Sports Performance on Champion Sports Radio.
What kind of athlete are you? Maybe you're an awesome athlete getting ready to compete at the college level, or a younger athlete who wants to make varsity next year. Or maybe you don't want to compete in athletics at all, you just want to be stronger and faster. No matter what your goal, it's time to get into the game at Velocity Sports Performance. Velocity Sports Performance is the ultimate training facility that offers you a chance to be instructed by world-class performance coaches who have taught professional and Olympic-level athletes. You'll be training at the same place as the pros do. Now, when you first come in, they'll measure your stats in speed, strength, and agility. And as you train in their state-of-the-art facilities, you'll be able to see your progress and improvement and get the results you want. Your opponents won't want to see you coming. So stop by their Coppell location at 801 Hammond Street or visit them on the web at www.velocitysp.com. Call and ask how you can get a free training session at 469-293-4340. Become a better athlete today at Velocity Sports Performance.
As we head to the 4th quarter, Coppell with a 35-10 lead through 3 quarters. Coppell with 310 yards of offense. They have held Duncanville to just 176. And Duncanville came in 487 yards a game. Panthers have it 2nd down and 5 from their own 9-yard line. Charles Williams going to keep it himself. He's got running room across the 20. Look out, folks. 30, 35, 40. It is a foot race. 50, 45, 40, 35, 30. Bennett Okacha has the angle and will bring him down at the 15-yard line. Charles Williams, a huge run for the Panthers and a big play.
Well, he goes right up the middle as the pocket collapses. Initially started to pass the football, wasn't able to do so, and quickly decided, no, I'll just run this thing. Gets into the middle of the field, splits the linebackers, and then he's into the secondary. And as you said, it's a foot race. Okacha had the angle and brings him down at about the 15-yard line.
We'll say his knee touchdown at the 16, so a 75-yard rush for Charles Williams. And just like that, Duncanville knocking on the door. 1st down and 10 at the 16-yard line. Charles Williams had 132 total rushing yards all season. Picks up 75 on one play. From the pistol, he will hand it off to Simpson. Simpson trying to cut it back, looking for a running room. Finds nothing there. Nothing but white jerseys to clog it up. There to make the tackle, the linebacker, Preston Odette. The outside linebacker did a good job of closing things up there in the middle. Tanner Rice also in there. That'll be a 1-yard loss for Simpson.
Well, Tanner Rice doing a nice job there taking on the block of the guard on that side. Number 64, Aaron Evans, just did not allow himself to be blocked, and that required Simpson to try to run around him, and when he did, they were able to bring him down for a loss.
Coppell this season only giving up 9.5 points a game. They've given up 10 so far tonight to Duncanville. 2nd down and 10, or 2nd and 11 for the Panthers. Makes the handoff. Williams will keep it himself. Uday had a hold of him, and then it's Austin Buss, the nose guard, that'll bring him down just shy of the 15-yard line. It's a gain of a couple. It'll bring up 3rd and long.
And again, an attempt there by Duncanville to double team Austin Buss in the middle of the line, and he just would not be blocked.
3rd and 9 for Duncanville at the 15-yard line. Obviously 2-down territory here for the Panthers, trailing Coppell 35-10. Charles Williams is 1 of 1 passing. He has also rushed 5 times for 88 yards. 2nd series since replacing Devin Ely. Williams takes the shotgun snap straight back in the pocket, steps up, and he will roll out to his left, still looking to throw, still looking. Now he'll find it underneath. It's bobbled and dropped by McKinney at the 11-yard line. Oh, Malcolm McKinney was wide open. Great job of scrambling, buying more time. Charles Williams dumped it off to McKinley, and Malcolm could not hold it on.
Well, there's a microcosm of when it's not your night, it's not your night. It went into the field. Coppell gets a bobble, and it results in a touchdown. There, Duncanville has a wide-open receiver, bobble one and drop it. when he might well have gotten into the end zone, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And they indeed will go for it. 4th and 9 at the Cowboys' 15-yard line. Coppell looking for a defensive stop here after giving up the big 75-yard run by the quarterback. Williams back to pass. Pressure coming on. Hit as he throws, and it will be incomplete. Boy, he got some pressure right up the middle. I believe it was by Tanner Rice. Forced the incompletion and a turnover on downs. Connor Michelson of Plano, he can relate, Charles Williams. He took one of those same kind of hits a week ago, straight back on his back.
Well, and Tanner literally just blew past the the offensive lineman assigned to block him, and was right in Williams' face before Williams could really do anything with it. And so he throws a wounded duck out into the secondary. Very fortunate it wasn't intercepted by the Cowboys for an easy score.
This Coppell defense, they don't like to give up points. Tanner Rice last week wasn't happy, saying we gave up 6 points. We don't like to give up points. Well, they didn't give up any there. They take over 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line. Start with a handoff to McDaniel. Squeezes his way up the middle across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Josh Hunt, the linebacker, brings him down, but not before a gain of 6.
And we have seen on at least 4 ball games where, as you said, early in the ball game, there virtually no rushing yards for Coppell. But that experienced offensive line and the talent of Cam McDaniel, they just keep handing it to him, and you look up at the end of the ball game, and they've won, and he's got 100 yards rushing.
He's up to 60 right now. Again, he had just 14 at halftime, but he's going to get a full workload here in this 4th quarter. And again, they let the play clock wind down, using as much as they can. Play clock down to 3. They snap it, hand it off to McDaniel. Good blocking on the left side. Gets the corner turn out across the 30 and does a good job of staying in bounds as well as he gets it out to the 31, a pickup of 10. That's just a smart play right there by a senior running back. They're trying to milk some of this clock. He was heading towards the sideline. Before stepping out, he just took a knee at the 31-yard line. So when they move the chains, they will start the clock again.
Well, and you mentioned a smart running back. One of the schools that Cam McDaniel has his scholarship choice narrowed down to is Stanford, and I don't think they're letting in any dummies.
No, definitely not. 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Clock rolls. 8:45 left in this football game. Again on the ground to McDaniel, and he will go up the middle to about the 34-yard line as he drags Josh Ulen, the defensive end, with him for 3. Again, if Coppell wins, they will play Midland next Saturday. It'll be a 2 p.m. kickoff in Midland. So a little road trip work looks like next Saturday, Bart.
We will head out to West Texas, my old stomping grounds, and they will take on the Midland Bulldogs. I hope they are eating their Wheaties.
Yeah, Midland, boy, they ate their Wheaties today in a 31-7 victory, holding El Dorado to just 3 rushing yards. That'll be tested next week with Cam McDaniel. Minden's going to throw here. Pressure coming on. He'll be sacked back inside the 25-yard line. It's Josh Ulen getting the sack. First sack of the game for the Duncanville Panthers.
Well, and Ulen and Terrell Brooks run a stunt, and it works. And it allows Ulen to be right in on top of Joe Minden.
So that moves the football back to the 25-yard line, and now Coppell will look at a 3rd down and 16. Well, they've been pretty effective in these 3rd and longs. They had a 3rd down and 20, had a 28-yard touchdown catch, had a 3rd down and 17 earlier. Cameron Smith makes an 18-yard catch. 3rd and 16 right now at the 25 as they go right to left. Blitz coming on. They're trying to set up a screen, and they get it out to Cam McDaniel. He breaks a tackle to the 30, 35-yard line. A tackle at the 38, just shy of a first down. Gary Lewis, the cornerback, just wrapping up McDaniel 2 yards shy of a first down.
Well, they do pick up 14 yards, and it looked like you were going to be prophetic. McDaniel does a nice job breaking a tackle right at the point of attack. Takes a real lick by Tyler Mitchell. However, Mitchell, number 88 for the Panthers, doesn't wrap up. And when you're tackling Cam McDaniel, if you don't wrap up, you probably are not going to bring him down.
So they will bring on Tanner Rice to punt the football away. They did take some time off the clock. Clock continues to roll. It's at 6:45. And they'll let more of this expire before Tanner Rice will punt it away. They bring on the rush. Rice punts it away. And that ball will be taken to the 30-yard line by Jalen Parker. Tries to go the opposite way. Now comes back to the near side. Now back to the other way. And he'll be down at the 35-yard line. So he zigged, he zagged, he zigged, and returns it 5 yards. Panthers have the football back with 6:31 to go. Coppell leading 35-10. 28 unanswered points by the Cowboys.
Well, you're right. He literally made some impressive moves, all in about a 10-foot square. and ended up moving 3 yards up the field, but he was still trying to make something happen. The Cowboys bring him down, and Duncanville will start at the 35-yard line. The Duncanville coaching staff got all their players around them trying to implore them to do something.
Again, they have not scored since the 9:57 mark of the second quarter. It was their second drive. They scored on their first 2 possessions. The first one was a 13-play, 80-yard drive. Chris Simpson, a 5-yard touchdown run. Then the next drive was 8 plays, 57 yards, and they got a 33-yard field goal. But since then, no scoring. Now here comes a little trickeration, a little reverse. Ball taken there by Jaquan Cole, his second carry of the game, out across the 40 to the 41-yard line, picks up 6 yards.
And you see there, we've talked all season about the fact that Coppell plays a 3-4, but it's actually more like a 7-4 because of the speed of the defensive line and Tanner Rice, who called his name a lot of times.
Yes.
He manages to bring the play down from behind, and he's the defensive end.
Tanner Rice, a good one, no doubt about it. 4 sacks last week in their 23-6 win over Plano. Gave up 6 points to Plano. They've given up 10 to Duncanville. Duncanville, one of the top offenses in the area. Comes the handoff to Piper, looking for running room. There is Tanner Rice again, who picks him up, wrestles him back to the ground after a gain of just 2 yards.
Well, in that particular play for Duncanville, I'm not certain the backs were ever lined up like they intended them to in the backfield. However, that's not going to change the way Coppell plays defense. It's going to play right into their hands, and as you said, that play runs to the side where Tanner Rice is, and he's there waiting, and he's got another tackle.
3rd down and 2. Clock ticks down towards 5 minutes to go as Coppell well on their way to victory number 12 on the season. They'd be 12-0. Midland waits next week. Midland 11-1. And it will be at Midland as well, so a tough game next Saturday, no doubt, for the Cowboys. Comes the handoff. This is Cole looking for some running room. Finds a little hole across the 40 to the 45. Then he fumbled the football, and the Cowboys come out of there with it. Cowboys recover the fumble. It's the sophomore William Uday as he recovers the Cole fumble. Second turnover of the game on Duncanville.
Well, Cole was trying to make something happen there in the middle of the line, and as he did so, he cut back into the middle of the field, and he got hit by one of the linebackers. I'll have to see as they unstack. He gets hit there.
I believe it was Michael Quast.
It was Michael Quast. Puts a helmet on the football. It pops it up in the air, and it goes right into the arms of William Uday. Alert move by Uday, and that'll give the ball back to the Cowboys on the plus side of the field.
So 4:56 is what the Cowboys have to evaporate off the Cowboys Stadium clock here in Arlington, as Coppell has this game well in hand. On the ground, they give it to McDaniel, sheds off a tackle, gets it inside the 40, down to the 37, and we go down to the sidelines and join Ryan Mueller.
Thank you very much, Mike. Yeah, I had a chance to catch up with Tyler Landis, wide receiver for Coppell. Kind of asked him what changed because they went on this big run and now such a big lead, 35-10. He just said that Coppell was a little nervous starting out, and I asked him if it had anything to do with the stadium. He said, no, it's just the playoff atmosphere. This is such an important game as everyone is. He just said we had to calm down and play some smart football, and they did that.
Well, they certainly have, Ryan, after a tough opening drive and a tough first quarter. Since then, it has been all Coppell here in these final 3 quarters, holding out a very good Duncanville offense. Back on the ground to McDaniel. Boy, Bart, did you see him with 2 arms wrapped around that football? No one was taking that thing away from him. Picks up 2 yards to the 35 to bring up 3rd and 1. And slowly but surely, Bart, inching towards 100 yards, like you said, 19 carries, 82 yards.
Well, after I mentioned that, he ripped off a 10-yard run. That put him at 71, and 2 more runs, and as you said, he's up to, 82?
82 yards, 19 carries. Also has 3 catches for 32 yards and a touchdown tonight.
Seldom puts the ball on the ground, just continues to eat up the clock.
And that clock is ticking towards the 3.5-minute mark. Minden will hand it to McDaniel, and there is Pemberton to get him behind the back in the backfield, but he drags Pemberton with him, the big defensive lineman. There's the strength of McDaniel, who looked like he would be tackled for about a 2-yard loss. Instead, he's going to turn it into about a 3-yard gain to the 33. First down and 10.
And we have seen that on a number of occasions and commented on it last season and then early in the season this year. Cam McDaniel is not that big. He's listed at about 190. I'm not certain he's not getting 5 pounds, but he is relentless in the way that he carries the football.
And a chance for the Cowboys to use some more clock as well. And also a chance to get the offensive line to come off the field. And also Jake Larson now in at quarterback. So the starting unit is out. Jake Larson and the reserves are in it here for the final 3 minutes of this football game. Larson will hand the football off to Jeff Smiley. Smiley is hit as soon as he touches the football. Let's see. No, I don't think that was Jeff Smiley. I believe that was Esteban Alcala. Alcala getting the carry. And it looks like no gain for Esteban.
We do have a number of the reserves in there. Number 55 in there on the line. Song Hung, a 6'1", 215-pound senior. Let's see who else. We also have coming into the ball game now, number 60, Zach Getson.
Yep, second teamers in there to wrap this thing up here for the Cowboys. Tyler Fenner in at wide receiver, the senior. He's lined up to the left. Second down and 11 after a loss of a yard for Alcala. Now they give it back to Esteban. He breaks the tackle, takes it inside the 30, down to the 25. And that'll be a nice gain of 9 yards there for Esteban. Brings up a third down and short.
Also into the ball game, number 72, Tyler Woodby, a 6'1", 210-pound senior tackle. And so Coach Joe McBride showing the class that he's got. He giving everybody an opportunity to play that can here at Cowboy Stadium in this big win. Also see number 52, but I don't have a listing for that on my sheet, Mike, for the Cowboys. But again, a great opportunity for all the kids to play, or a number of new kids to play late in the ball game.
Yeah, certainly a thrill for everyone to get to play in this stadium, where of course they will be hosting the Super Bowl coming up, and Cowboys will take a timeout. We'll step out with 1:39 to go. Coppell leads at 35-10 over Duncanville. You're listening to Cowboys football, presented by Velocity Sports Performance on Champion Sports Radio.
Many heart conditions can be fixed, but many of us don't know we have a problem until it's too late. On April 2nd, 2009, Zachary Schroff, a 16-year-old sophomore offensive lineman, died of sudden cardiac arrest, the #1 cause of death among student athletes. Like so many SCA victims, Zach had no heart issues, nor did anyone in his family. If Zach had an echocardiogram, he might have been able to avoid suffering a condition that takes 10,000 of our youth each year. In his memory, Living for Zachary was formed to try and prevent SCA from taking the lives of youth everywhere. Join in the fight today and stop the silent killer of SCA by scheduling your young athlete for an echocardiogram, a procedure that can detect any heart issue with 99% accuracy. For more information, visit www.livingforzachary.org. That's living4zachary.org, and let your heart be heard.
Third down and 2 for the Cowboys. A high snap. They get it out to Jake Larson. Breaks a tackle. Trying to get outside. Does to the 35 or inside the 25. And they'll say knocked out of bounds at the 23-yard line. And that is right where he needed to get to first down yardage. And I believe he will have it. He will. It's a gain of 3. Move the chains. That should just about do it tonight.
Well, Larson with the game effort there. About 3 different Panthers with an opportunity to bring him down. Jake just says, no, I'm getting the first down.
So 1:31 to go. The Cowboys have the football and the lead. First and 10 at the Duncanville 22-yard line. On the ground to Alcala. Breaks a tackle inside the 20, and he'll take it down to the 17. A good hard run of 5 yards there by Esteban, the junior running back, 5'10", 205 pounds. He's a good one. We're going to see a lot of him next year along with Jeff Smiley.
We've seen him on several occasions late in the ball game, and a lot like Cam McDaniel, Alcala hard to bring down. He just continues to move those legs. Seldom goes down that there are not 2, 3, 4 people with their arms around him.
So a good win tonight here for Coppell. Things started off a little slowly, but they turned it on, especially second quarter on, and then we saw that defense really take over tonight against a good Duncanville offense. Larson will hand the football off to Alcala. He'll be trapped in the backfield, and he will go down for a loss. Back at about the 23-yard line. Looks like about a 5-yard loss. With the clock ticking down, they'll have to run one more play.
Well, and it's appropriate that one of the final plays for a loss by Duncanville would be by Zach Pemberton, the nose tackle. He has had a good ball game tonight. We've called his name on several occasions, and he manages to get past the offensive line there and make a good play. Into the ball game, number 52, I mentioned earlier, a 6'2", 210-pound sophomore offensive lineman, Taylor Honeycutt, into the ball game for the last 3 minutes.
So this will be the final play of the game, and they will hand it off to Alcala. And he breaks the tackle to the 15-yard line, a gain of 8, and that will do it. As the Coppell Cowboys keep their perfect season alive, they improve to 12-0 as they knock off the Duncanville Panthers tonight by a final score of 35-10. And Mark Castle is certainly a great job defensively by Coppell after a tough early start.
It looked like at 10-0 that this might be a real test for the Cowboys. However, they make adjustments and get back on top of things. And once they picked up the momentum, Mike, they literally were unstoppable.
We've got a lot to get to in the postgame show presented by Velocity Sports Performance. We'll hear from Coach Joe McBride. We'll have the highlights for you as well and all the stats and look ahead towards next week's game against Midland. Coppell wins it tonight over Duncanville 35-10. You're listening to Cowboys football presented by Velocity Sports Performance on Champion Sports Radio.
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by Champion Sports Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, and any and all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Champion Sports Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Champion Sports Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com. This is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcasts.
It was a cold, blustery day for football legend Michael Strahan.
Hey, it's Mike. Actually, it was like 72 degrees, but it was breezy.
On the way to his single-season sack record, victory was in the air.
I was holding a Dr. Pepper, which I guess tastes like victory because it has those original 23 flavors I love.
I'm trying to make you look awesome. Please cooperate.
You don't have to make us look awesome. I got my record, and Dr. Pepper has 23 amazing flavors.
Well, I need to say something.
Read this.
The ice-cold Dr. Pepper cascading over freshly frozen crushed ice. Every sip as original and delicious as Strahan's vicious hits.
There you go.
There's nothing like a pepper. Trust me.
That's my line. Trust me. I've sent people to the doctor.
What kind of athlete are you? Maybe you're an awesome athlete getting ready to compete at the college level, or a younger athlete who wants to make varsity next year. Or maybe you don't want to compete in athletics at all, you just want to be stronger and faster. No matter what your goal, it's time to get into the game at Velocity Sports Performance. Velocity Sports Performance is the ultimate training facility that offers you a chance to be instructed by world-class performance coaches who have taught professional and Olympic-level athletes. You'll be training at the same place as the pros do. Now, when you first come in, they'll measure your stats in speed, strength, and agility. And as you train in their state-of-the-art facilities, you'll be able to see your progress and improvement and get the results you want. Your opponents won't want to see you coming. So stop by their Coppell location at 801 Hammond Street or visit them on the web at www.velocitysp.com. Call and ask how you can get a free training session at 469-293-4340. Become a better athlete today at Velocity Sports Performance.
Many heart conditions can be fixed, but many of us don't know we have a problem until it's too late. On April 2, 2009, Zachary Schroff, a 16-year-old sophomore offensive lineman, died of sudden cardiac arrest, the #1 cause of death among student athletes. Like so many SCA victims, Zach had no heart issues, nor did anyone in his family. If Zach had an echocardiogram, he might have been able to avoid suffering a condition that takes 10,000 of our youth each year. In his memory, Living for Zachary was formed to try and prevent SCA from taking the lives of youth everywhere. Join in the fight today and stop the silent killer of SCA by scheduling your young athlete for an echocardiogram, a procedure that can detect any heart issue with 99% accuracy. For more information, visit www.livingforzachary.org. That's living4Zachary.org, and let your heart be heard.
Well, 12 hours from right now, the Dallas Cowboys will be taking this field to take on the Detroit Lions. But tonight, this night belonged to the Coppell Cowboys as the 5th-ranked team in Class 5A advances to the regionals to take on the Midland Bulldogs next week. They win it tonight by a final score of 35-10. And right now, our Ryan Mueller joined with Coppell head coach Joe McBride.
Coach, a quality win against a quality opponent. Duncanville's a good football team. I think if you look at this ball game, you had help from every single player, it seemed like, out there, and that's what it takes, is a team effort to beat a team like Duncanville. That says a lot about the character of this team.
Yeah, our kids are solid, man. I mean, they've really bought in from day one when I got this job, and they just buy in more and more all the time, and I just can't say enough for our kids. We're a bunch of blessed coaches. I appreciate them. We're hard on them. We expect a lot out of them, but I appreciate them and love them for responding the way they do for us.
If I did have to point my finger on one player that really made a big impact on this game, I think it's your quarterback, Joe Minden. He had a lot of terrific passes tonight. He made a lot of good decisions. He even had a great punt in the football game. But I think more than anything, it's his leadership skills that really seem to come out for him in the ball game.
Yeah, Joe does a great job. I'm really proud of him and the year he's having, and cares so much, and it spills out into our team. And I can always hang my family's my career on a hat of a kid that'll go battle like he does, and he's a captain, and I expect that out of captains, and he provides it.
You said at the half, Coach, that one of the most important things in the first half was being able to get the defense lined up right. Well, I think you guys did pretty well tonight. You held Duncanville to just 10 points. That's one of the most explosive offenses with Devin Ely being a part over there. Talk about your defensive effort tonight.
I just appreciate the kids. We were real aggravated that first start, the way we started the game, and we got after them pretty hard. But they're a bunch of stingy guys that have a lot of pride about how they play, and we just kind of ironed out some wrinkles, and they just started responding and playing like we should play. And then even when they had that big run in the second half, our kids, they always bow up. That's one thing we know we're going to get out of our kids is great effort, and they're just a bunch of high character kids, and I appreciate them.
You get to celebrate this win for at least a little while, and then you've got to go back to work and face a tough team in Midland. They have definitely surprised a lot of people with how talented they are this year, but a chance for your team to travel. And I think that more than anything, when a team travels, that's just another opportunity for the team to get a little bit closer.
Yeah, we look forward to it. I mean, obviously, we'd love to be playing right there at Cowboy Stadium, this one or ours back at Coppell. But, it is what it is. We just thank God we're playing again. We're not going to be selfish and stingy out of it. People have lost flips. We're not the first one. So we're going to go out there and we're going to play a hostile team in a hostile environment, and we got to respond and bow up.
I know that it's every head coach wants to be able to be practicing on Thanksgiving. You guys get to do that. I know that's something the kids and the coaching staff are pretty excited about.
Absolutely. It's Thanksgiving, and we're just thankful. God's been so good to us as a team, and I'm just grateful for the opportunity to be the head coach at Coppell High School, and with a great community and a bunch of great kids and coaches. I'm blessed.
Coach, many thanks for the conversation. Congratulations on a big win.
Thanks. Appreciate y'all.
Mike, back upstairs to you.
Ryan, thank you so much. Great job tonight. Joe McBride, Bart Castle, that is a good man right there leading a good football team.
Absolutely. He mentioned solid kids, and oftentimes solid kids are kids who are led by solid coaches in the program. And McBride really cut his teeth over at Hebron, was the defensive coordinator when they won a state championship, went on and started a program out at one of the new high schools in Frisco where he did well, and he has brought that solid coaching style to Coppell and has them flying high a second season in a row.
Yeah, he has preached defense, and he has certainly got his program exactly where he needs to be right now. An impressive defensive performance tonight. They win at 35-10 to advance to the regionals of the Class 5A Division I playoffs. But right now we need to go back to the studio host, Thomas Lee, who's got all the other scores from a busy weekend of high school football.
Thanks, Mike. And Bart, to your credit, talking about Liberty, they're still undefeated. They won last night behind the sensational running back of their Boise State-bound running back. And that team, Coach McBride really started something special there, and they've continued building upon it. Let's look at the scores from today, a busy Saturday in high school football here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. It started off at Cowboy Stadium bright and early at 11 a.m. and a slobber knocker between Geyer and Cedar Hill. Final score 48-35. Geyer advances, ending the season of Cedar Hill. The Longhorns got the best of the Wildcats back on Labor Day, but Geyer turns the tables here in the area round of the playoffs. Poteet, they stay alive as they knock off White House 24-19. Wichita Falls Ryder out at Ratliff Stadium in Odessa, knocking off El Paso Andress 47-22. So a big win for the Rider Raiders as well. South Lake Carroll knocking off Colleyville Heritage right here at Cowboy Stadium. Game 2 of 4, 34-17 the final as the Dragons continue their mastery over the Heritage Panthers. Gilmer advances, 50-27 win over Vam. Longview 27, South Garland 14 as the Lobos continue rolling on. Speaking of rolling on, the Ryan Raiders, maybe not the point totals they're used to, but a big win over Del Valle, 27-7 out in Midland, where these two guys will be next week as the Cowboys will take on the Midland Bulldogs. Game 3 here, Trinity hanging on against Allen, 37-35 the final there. And, of course, the game that just concluded, Coppell Cowboys with 35-10 win over the Duncanville Panthers. Looking at some TAPS action, Colleyville Covenant Christian, 35-33 winners over Brian Brazos Christian. The Covenant School, 47-7 winners over Marble Falls Faith Academy. Fort Worth Nolan Christian, 49. TCA, 14 as Trinity Christian Addison sees their season come to a conclusion. Austin St. Michael's eliminating Argyle Liberty Christian by a single point, 50-49, the final there. Bishop Lynch, they keep going on. They're also a 1-point winner, 22-21 over Houston St. Pius. Midland Christian, 61-13 winners over Houston Northland Christian. That was down at Kerrville-Sivey. Prestonwood Christian, they roll on, 33-21 win over San Antonio Central Catholic. Sorry, Ryan, your buttons fall to Prestonwood Christian today. And that'll do it for the scores from a busy Saturday. Oh, one more score to pass along. Lubbock Christian 34, the Woodlands Christian 29 over at Fort Worth All Saints. So exciting day of football. We'll be back to Dallas Cowboy Stadium right after this timeout. Once again, you're listening to Coppell Cowboy football. Cowboys win it 35-10 over the Duncanville Panthers. Back to Cowboy Stadium in a moment. This broadcast brought to you by Velocity Sports Performance on Champion Sports Radio.
Just like every patient, you want the best for your child. While you want your child to be healthy and to enjoy participating in sports, you may also have concerns about their abilities and possible injuries. This is where Velocity Sports Performance can help. Whether your child wants to be the star of the team or just wants a little more playing time, they can help your young athletes reach their goals. The coaches at Velocity Sports Performance will push athletes to their limits, but not beyond them. They will use positive reinforcement to ensure that your child feels good about his or her accomplishments. And at the completion of the first program, you'll see the improvement in your child's athletic performance and a boost in self-confidence from what they've achieved. So help your young athletes start off on the right foot by visiting their Coppell location at 801 Hammond Street or call to inquire about a free training session at 469-293-4340. Check out a list of their programs on the web at www.velocitysp.com. Become a better athlete today at Velocity Sports Performance.
Coach to Cure MD is an annual fundraiser that raises money for Parent Project Muscular Dystrophy. It's the largest fundraising and research organization geared specifically for Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Duchenne is a genetic and progressive disease that takes the lives of most people before their 30th birthday. Coach to Cure MD continues to grow with support from more than 5,200 high school and college coaches at over 400 different institutions, and you can help this fall by joining Coach McBride and the Cowboys on Friday, October 1st when they host Denton High. All the coaches will be wearing the Coach to Cure MD patches on their sleeves, and anybody who donates at least $1 at the gate will receive a matching sticker to proudly wear in the stands. The ultimate goal is to raise at least $1,000 for research and also raise public awareness about such a tragic disease. So come out and support Coppell football and Coach to Cure MD. See you at the stadium, and go Cowboys!
This is the hit show Tech and Talk. Hi, my friends. I'm Ranjit. Chad, next caller.
Hey, do you guys have some sort of formula for calculating the taxes and fees on a wireless bill?
Oh, yes, of course. First, solve this equation. X plus y squared, where X is your monthly rate and y is your birth year.
Now, take the derivative of that number.
And any number that rhymes with it, write them on a wall and throw a dart. The number you hit are your taxes and fees, maybe.
But probably not.
The best formula is to switch to Metro PCS. They have a no-signed contract, $40 a month, unlimited plan where taxes and fees are included.
That equation is a piece of easy cake.
Get unlimited nationwide talk, text, and web for $40 a month. Taxes and regulatory fees included. Metro PCS.
Hello.
Wireless for all. Certain restrictions apply. Some services not available in all covered areas. Coverage not available everywhere. Payment fees not included and may apply. Visit metropcs.com or a Metro PCS store for information on specific terms and conditions of service, coverage areas, handset capabilities, and applicable restrictions. Nationwide long distance available only in continental U.S. and Puerto Rico. Rate, services, and features subject to change.
Welcome back to the Velocity Sports Performance post-game show. Final score 35-10 as Coppell advances, knocking off the Duncanville Panthers. Before we rejoin Mike and Bart out at Dallas Cowboys Stadium, let's take a look at some of the second half highlights. Remember, 28-10 was the score, and the Cowboys were going to get the ball to start the second half. Well, the disaster struck, and you thought for a moment that it might be a disastrous turn of events for the Cowboys as they fumble the opening kickoff. Duncanville takes over, but an excellent job by the Cowboy defense to force a turnover on downs in an unbelievable sequence of events. It's always amazing how defenses can hunker down and set up in an opportunity with the game on the line and those sudden change chances. And the Coppell defense was equal to the task.
5 receivers set. Here comes the blitz. It's picked up nicely. Ely nowhere to throw. He's going to tuck it under, and he's going to run, and he breaks a couple tackles, but well shy of a first down as he takes one last lick from Jacob Logan at the 25-yard line, and that'll be a turnover on downs.
So with 9:31 left, the Cowboys finally get their first possession of the second half, and well, it kind of went a lot like the ones in the latter part of the first half did. They chewed up a lot of time, 4:22 to be exact. A lot of plays as well, 11 plays. They pick up 6 first downs, 76 yards in all, and they cap it off the way they have so many times this season. You just give it to Cam McDaniel.
Could be touchdown number 34 upcoming for Cam McDaniel. They hand it to Cam. He's in across the goal line. Touchdown, Cowboys. 5:09 to play in the third quarter, and Coppell now leads it 34-10.
After that, couple of punts exchanged back and forth. A turnover on downs was forced after a beautiful punt by the quarterback, Minden. It was down at the 4-yard line, just too far for Duncanville to go. They turned it over on downs, and the Cowboys able to milk the rest of the clock. So your final score, once again, 35-10, as Coppell advances to face Midland next week. And the boys who will be there to call all the action for you, Mike Peasley and Bart Castle, back up to Cowboy Stadium to join them.
All right, thank you very much, Thomas, for your hard work tonight. We certainly appreciate that. Bart Castle, certainly a long road trip next week for us and for the Coppell Cowboys, but boy, the way this Coppell team is playing right now, I like their chances.
Regardless of who they play the rest of the way, they are going to be a difficult team to contend with, as Coach McBride said. They make adjustments quickly. They have very high expectations for their student athletes, and they don't change those once the ball game begins. They do play all 3 phases of the game. They'll be tough for Midland to handle and potentially Trinity the next week if they get past them.
Yeah, that would be a potential quarterfinal round game if both Coppell and Trinity happen to win next Saturday. Let's check out the final stats of this one tonight before we leave you. The Coppell Cowboys rack up 362 yards of offense tonight, 93 rushing yards, 269 passing. Cam McDaniel, 20 rushes for 85 yards and a touchdown. Esteban Ocalo had 5 carries for 15 yards. Jake Larson, 1 rush for 3 yards. Joe Minden, 5 carries for -10 tonight. Joe Minden passing, though, very effective, 17 of 25, 269 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Only 2 penalties tonight against the Cowboys. That was nice to see. Cost them 30 yards, and they had 1 turnover. Tyler Landis, boy, he was the top receiver tonight. 8 receptions, 154 yards, 2 touchdowns, had a 54-yard touchdown catch and a 14-yard touchdown reception. Cam McDaniel had 3 catches for 3 catches for 32 yards and a touchdown. Nate Ruby, 2 receptions for 25 yards. Kyle Eckert had 1 catch for 28 yards and a touchdown. Cameron Smith, 1 reception for 18 yards. Jason Lister had a catch for 7 yards. And Jeff Smiley had 1 reception for 5 yards as well. For the Duncanville Panthers, coming in, averaging 45 points a game and about 475 yards of offense. Well, they only scored 10 points tonight and only had 274 yards of offense against this Coppell defense. They had 209 rushing yards, 65 yards passing, led on the ground by their backup quarterback, Charles Williams. He had 5 carries for 88 yards. He had the big one in there of 75 yards. That kind of skewed the statistics. Otherwise, it would have been even more impressive for the Cowboys tonight. Chris Simpson, their tailback, 11 rushes for 57 yards and a touchdown. Devin Ely, he had 10 rushes for 50 yards tonight. Jaquan Cole, 2 carries for 9 yards, and Aaron Piper, 5 rushes for 5 yards. Devin Ely passing tonight was just 5 of 13 for 54 yards. Charles Williams played about the last quarter and a half. He finished 1 of 3 for 11 yards. Jalen Parker, their top receiver, held to just 2 catches for 19 yards tonight. Terry Cooper, 1 reception for 19 yards. Malcolm McKinney, 1 catch for 11 yards. Jaquan Cole, 1 catch for 10 yards. And Chris Simpson had 1 reception for 6 yards. 5 penalties tonight whistled against the Duncanville Panthers for 40 yards, and they had 2 turnovers. So with the victory, Coppell improves to 12-0 on the season, while Jeff Dykes and his Duncanville Panthers finish with the final mark of 8-4. So Bart Castle, something we have seen week in and week out from this Coppell Cowboys team. Strong defense, good running game, outstanding job by the quarterback, Joe Minden, and they survive and advance to the 3rd round for the 2nd consecutive year.
And that's really what it's all about. Certainly you'd like to win beauty contest in terms of the way you play every time. Tonight, Coppell comes out, and an athletic Duncanville team goes down and scores 10 points. But once those 10 points had been scored, as you said, the defense said, hey, we're the Coppell Cowboys, and we give up 9 points a game. They're 1 more than they need. They're done. And that was the way it went the rest of the ball game.
So Coppell advances to the regionals. Again, they will play Midland next Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock. We'll be on the air with the pregame show at 1:30. That'll do it tonight here at Cowboys Stadium in Arlington. Big thanks to Ryan Mueller and our studio host Thomas Lee. For Bart Castle, I'm Mike Peasley. Again, the final score tonight, the Coppell Cowboys 35, the Duncanville Panthers 10. Thanks so much for listening, and so long, everybody.
There's a